All right, good morning, everyone. Lots to get through here this morning. Hope you had a good session overnight, provided lots and lots of opportunities last night. All right, let's get into it. Daily chart. All right, we're gapping up on the daily off those NVIDIA earnings, lifting the market. It wasn't just NVIDIA, to be honest. All of Salesforce, etc., all of software lifted as well. All right, so nice gap up here. Decent sized gap up. The key is where we are. Oh, look, right? We're right into the 2026 point of control. All right, so this is a key battle now to see if we can get back inside, and certainly back inside here. I'd say basically 700 to like these 500s, right? Can we hold bids inside here for the next few sessions? If the answer is yes, we trade to the mid. Right, and if we get through the mid, we trade to the top side, and then we're going to expect a lift. All right, if we can get through that top side. If we can't get through this, all right, and we keep poking in and failing, and we come into some of the imbalances up here, and we get slammed back down to the underside and lose it, it all changes. But this is a market where we have to anticipate, all right, sideways action, but volatility in that sideways action, as in these can be rather large moves. All right, we think about some of these daily candles. Right, we're talking about moves from over 30,000 right down to the 200s, right? These can be 800-point moves in here, right? This is very, very typical of a midterm year, possibly of a late cycle. So we have to be aware of that, but this is the key battle here as we come into this grey box. So buyers lifted us out. Can we get back inside this now? Question mark. All right, we are now back above all the anchored VWAPs, which is pretty key. So off the all-time high, everyone who's bought on the way down, they're now maybe not in the money, but maybe flat. Everyone who bought off that pivot low, they're in the money. Everyone who bought off the recent July low, they are now in the money as well. All right, so that's fairly key. If we can hold above that, you can see 50-day red line, blue 5-day, and purple 20-day still all tightly pinned in. And as we talked about, these Bollingers are going to get tight, and I would imagine we're going to do something like this, and then something nasty is going to happen, because it's rare that we stay too tight for too long, although last year we did do it for about 5 months. All right, let's get into the higher time frames, or the hourlies. Just focus on this for me. I know there's lots of blocks on the chart. I'm having to move all the expected moves around as we've gapped up. Okay, so clear here. The main thing I want to hold is last week's LVN. All right, right in here. All right, we've now put in this bottoming formation. All right, we got compact early week here. We've broken out. We're looking for pullbacks to hold, potentially even hold the top of this W towards 500, right, to complete this move. Maybe, all right, they need to come deeper into this LVN here. All right, which is back into this blue box, which is also the RBS, right? Resistance, support. We've already tested it twice overnight. All right, this is where I'd like to hold. If we can hold the 400s as that kind of extreme, that seems like a good dip buying opportunity for that drive back up. 680 is our target. We did trade this last night in Discord. Anyone wondering, we did trade this, and we also traded this first bounce relief. And probably while I was asleep, I'm going to assume some of them traded this again. So we're trying to buy 4s to sell into 680. Why? Previous week value area high. We do have the old point of control here as well, which was naked at the time. So it's our first attempt into that. So I'm going to be looking for the same today. Can we buy 4s for the trade into 570 and 680? If we lose 4s, potentially gap fill at that point, it wouldn't be ideal. And I'm not talking about this gap, I'm talking about the cash gap. All right, so potentially, but if we can hold current week's value area high, previous day's value area high, maybe they lose 4s and that drifts to 3. I won't be trading the short side there. I will ignore that short side, but if we do trade 3 and we bid 3s, all right, then maybe I'll put small position on, and if we reclaim 4s, that's where our size in for that move. So I am aware that if we lose 4s, we can come 3s. I will ignore that move and wait to see if we bid it back out. That's a choice. That's just how I like to trade. I'm going to be focused on longs down in this area, maybe if we hold 5s, but ideally down here. Let's talk about what happens if we lose it. If we lose the 3s, it's very simple. We rotate yesterday's value, and we probably rotate the week, right? And your expected move low, right, is down here into 200, which times or sits perfectly with that value area low from yesterday and the point of control. So if you lose 3s, there is a drive down to 2s. I will not be trading that. My choice is to not trade 3s and under. I won't trade 4 to 3s, and I won't trade 3s and under unless the tape really shifts and we have like panic selling. I don't want to be chopped. Right, so if we do see something like this, or something like that, no, I don't like that deep. All right, something like this. Right, these would be TP1, TP2s. If we get over value area high, I will look to see if we can hold value area high and run this wick high at 7s and get up into the 8s, all right? Because we have this old point of control here, and as we leave balance and we trade thin, we're probably going to come to an old area balance, which also happens to be the expected move today. So there's potential here. I'm basically going to size if we hold 4s, even if we come under it. That's my first risk on. I might add in over 680s and then look for the drive to 800s. All right, that's ideally what I'd like to see today. If, right, we lift early morning, all right, and we squeeze up anywhere here and you see us come back underneath the previous week value area high and we lose the 680s, then there's a better rotation trade. You'll be trading 100 points down to 580s and then see if it loses the whole thing again. Right, that's something I'd consider short side. I'd much rather be short side there than I would down here. You see the difference? I'd much rather be playing sell pressure here than I would down here. I'd much rather be playing buy pressure here and then see if I can join for continuation. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's have a quick look at the gamma. We've got to get through this quick. All right, we're back into positive gamma here. Neutral zone is down at 280. You can just call it 300. So everything above 300 with positive gamma. We're looking for dips and rotational kind of moves above this. Under 280, we go into transition. Underneath value, we go neg gamma and everything changes there. All right, so I do not want to see it basically under 2s. Under 2s and this market can implode. I don't think that's coming, but it's worth being aware of. Upside targets, you can see we have this first big call wall at 650, which times out pretty well with 680. That again was a target for us last night. If we get above that, maybe a slow positive gamma grind, and as we start to get the covers all the way into here and then maybe some pullbacks and fails, and if they hold that, you know, our weekly expected move is up here. Remember, we've got Jackson Hole tomorrow. Well, it actually starts today. Comments, at least from Walsh, will come tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some comments today, so just be careful. All right, let's go and have a look what the rest of the market is doing, shall we? Move this to ES. And we're going to change this RBS level down here. All right, so pinned in. Same story though. Nice breakout. Breakout, 2-leg pullback, holding. That's your pivot low. If they're willing to hold this, here's your clear target. So you're looking to buy the low 7s. If they lose 7s, there's gap fill potential all the way down here into 690. Ideally, we don't see that. Ideally, they keep that gap open for a gap and go. All right, and you're looking for 40s. And if you get through 40s, you've got these calls up here at 55 and 60s. And you can see we're a bit thinner there until we get to this bump. So that would be the most ideal move today if it's willing to do it. It might be a variation of if we lose this, okay, everything changes at that point. So bullish until that point. Of course, you're going to do that. All right, if we look at the spiders, just for Confluence, for those of you trading ETFs. Same story here. We can just flip these now. All right, you're looking to hold sort of 68-ish. If you lose 68, you can look at 67s and 66s, but ideally 68 for the move to 770. And then if we start getting through that, we've got old modes up here at 72s and 75s. QQQs. Same story. Let's pull this out a bit. All right, RBS is a little far away here. What do we have over here? It is an old pivot. Okay, good. So I have to check my levels were correct. All right, so again, pinned in, block to block. Watching pullbacks to hold everything over 715s. All right, anything over 715s, looking for this to be a pullback, which is bid into for that move to 720, 720 break. And then we can start thinking about upside lift. If we lose 715s, we come down into this RBS zone and the neutral zone. And we don't really want to do that, ideally. All right, broader market. Crude, A back above 80s, slight concern here, I would say, like we talked about. If it rebalances this and holds, it's going to be a problem. That would be the rebalance and hold. I'm going to put this onto a higher time frame. All right, we're in a range. We've held. Shorts failed to get the breakdown here. That is now a clear pivot, which is holding around the 80s. We said that was a key level. All right, if we start breaking out here, we've got old gaps in towards 85s and through that back towards the 90 zone. That will be a problem for the market. All right, if this is going to hold this and do this, this will be downside pressure in the market, no doubt about it. So we do have to have one eye on crude right now. It has not gone away. It really hasn't gone away. This whole theory that, oh, we're done and it's all over. What part of this looks like crude is rolling over? I don't know. People that are calling that, I really don't know, because for me, it hasn't proved anything yet. All right, there is a clear level of consolidation. There's a look below and fail. There's back into the consolidation, and that is a higher low. All right, we need this under there, all right, for crude to roll over, and we're just not seeing that right now. So it's, you know, try and be neutral when you look at these charts. Try not to listen to people on Twitter and stuff. Try and do your own analysis. This has not rolled over yet. It might well roll over, but right now it's not done it. VIX still sitting between 15s and 16s, so technically low volatility and still bullish. We can still grind, but we'll see what happens as we get into the next month. This is fairly typical. Normally we'd expect this to come a month earlier, but there we go. Dixie, all right, coming back up to that line in the sand. We are pulling back off it, but it's a slow grind up. That's the key level here, 99.4s. They get through that and they're going to have a go at 100s, which remember was our big daily. If we go to a daily, that's the big level right up here. So that's what they failed to hold. This is the key level that we broke out through. All right, here, breakout, tried to hold, dipped under. This is the back test. Do they sell that now is the question. Right, mags. And I have to get through these and pretty quick here. They look like they want to break. Honestly, they look like they want to go for upside here. But what I'd be concerned about is one of these before they go for that upside, because it's very, very slow and grindy here. But they look like they want to go. We have now reclaimed this old range. So I'd say any dip which holds 67, 67.50 is pretty positive for the mags. And we can target this move for the old gap. This is what we were talking about yesterday. We're pretty much there pre-market, but it's 68.25s. If we lift through that, then we're looking for 69s. All right. I'm slightly concerned about how they've built this, about it might wanting to do a flush first. IGV. All right, there we go. Off those earnings, Salesforce, Crowdforce, etc., everything in the lift, everything crowd-wise, cloud-wise even, lifting. All right, and that looks like it wants new highs. So that consolidation held and gone. And I would like to say semis look the same, but they don't, right? They've lifted, but they've got a long way to go. You can see we're just coming to a key pivot on SOXL. All right, so this is the level, 28s to 30s is your call wall. We want 120 to hold, right? We flipped this. We've held the 13s early week. All right, so remember 13s and 15s was the main move this week. We held it. Any dip below 13s got bid straight back up towards 13s. We've reclaimed 15s. We've pushed through 20s. We're back in positive gamma. We want 120s to hold. We're not seeing huge strength in the index. It did have strength. We're pulling back in. They must hold 120 if we're going to lift together. I'm going to be very quickly here going through the mag here. Apple gapping down inside yesterday's range, not looking too good. Amazon gapping down, still inside yesterday's range. Google gapping down, letting go of the lows. That does really not look too good. Meta had that court hearing case yesterday, opening up flat on the day. We'll see if it really wants to get going. The call wall was right up there at 600. It is still positive gamma, but it doesn't look fantastic. Softy does look a bit better, trying to get back up to its gap, but again, inside yesterday's range. It has held an RBS level at 490. That's your key over-under today, 490. Nvidia's the one, right? Nvidia's the one. Nice ripper, straight through all the key levels. We talked about this grind down. I felt like a bid would probably come no matter what because it had been washed down so much. The street didn't really agree with me, but it happened that it worked out. 230 is the level now. So any pullback, really you'd want them to hold 220s. If they get washy 215s, 230 is your upside level. All right, folks. So mag not looking too good here this morning. Does not look too positive here this morning. Good luck, everyone. I want to be a buyer today, but I want it to come a little bit deeper if possible. That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. Let's see. Market's open. zoom this in. Do you know what? I'm going to try this indicator I've been working on a little bit. There's the rip. Oh my gosh, there is the ripper. It's a ripperoo. Straight off the open. There's your open print. Let me try and get these on. I've tried to be developing this for you guys. So I'm going to, there we go. I'm trying to get some delta on for you guys. We'll test it today, all right? If it goes well for the next week or two, I'll make it available. A ripperoo. Hey? Yeah. That's good. Cheers, love. All right, so into that point of control. It's hard to see with that on though, isn't it? It is hard to see. Might have to do some work on that and make it a bit smaller. Okay, let's see. I'm watching mags here. They're trading down towards the lows. See if they're going to close that gap. So first push into point of control. Ripped up, sold into. Remember, I'm looking to be a buyer down here today if they're willing to hold it and trap sellers. That open candle, yeah. I mean, it was a rip off the open, straight into this previous week point of control. All right, and then stuffed it. Remember, we're looking to buy down here. We're looking to buy down here. We're just at the open, nice and calm at the open. No need to force anything right here. All right, the buy opportunity would be down here if they trap sellers, or it would be over 680 if they base. All right, so that's what we're waiting for. We've just gone over it pre-market. I would advise you just try and keep focus on a higher time frame right now. An hourly would be very useful to you. I call it God mode, or at least like a 5 or a 15, so you can see the structural kind of move. That overnight low is into 400, 404. So it depends whether we're going to protect this down here or not. All right, Nvidia finding a big bid here just now, and I'm watching to see if the basket lifts with it through the 125 at the moment. So this is the thing, we've got market strength, leader strength has gone back into Nvidia. Now all this year, if anyone's been watching the semis, Nvidia has not been the strength in the market. I talked about this in Discord a lot. Strengths come from like AMD and MU and Intel, and Nvidia's been trading around like a high 20p ratio compared to some of those others trading at 40s and 50s. So we're going to see if that basket starts to flip and Nvidia starts to be the strength in this market. Right now, I'm just patiently waiting. Is the gap fill important? Well, look, if they want to fill it in New York with volume, we can look for that fill. Now, the overnight gap, if you're talking about it, is 430. The actual cash gap is a lot lower, right? Based on Qs, we're right down here, right? 300s, right? That's the cash gap. So we'll just see. I'll have to reload this and save it because it's gone a bit wonky again. Let's see if we can get that going. Sorry, folks. TradingView with some bug issues here. Right, here's the cash gap down here, 290s. That's the cash. This is previous day high we're trading into at the moment. So we're getting close to some key levels which we're interested. Remember, 400, ideally, we hold around the 400s. If we lose 400s, we can go 3, and then we'll watch 3, previous day value high. If we bid that, it would be small size, and then I'll scale back in if we bid over 4, back over 4. So we're coming into some of these key levels that I'm interested in. At the moment, all right, semis are getting whacked, all right? Nvidia now trading down towards low of session. Remember, historically, Nvidia pumps on earnings and gives it all back. So that's the one thing I've got back of my mind. We talked about it in Discord. MAG about to fill its gap, so it's into a key level here. And I'm going to watch this now to see if some sellers get stuck on the tape here. That's our first little reaction there in front of previous day highs. And there is a bid there, and they did just support that. I would like to see a new low first before we do anything else. But we're into the edge of that H1 range, right? So this is the first area of interest for me that I'm thinking about. What's the difference between cash and regular price? 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, right? So if you do a daily close, it won't necessarily show you the 4 o'clock because futures close at 5 o'clock, right? But 9:30 to 4 o'clock is where we trade cash, all right? If you think about market on open and market on close, right, starts at 9:30, all right, and ends at 4 o'clock. That's where the big market makers and dealers are having to do all their positions, right? So that's why I'm always interested in that cash gap. Some people call it settlement. I just call it cash gap. It's something I've always called it. All right, so it's the same when I look at volume. What am I interested in volume? One, really, there's big sellers down here getting absorbed. Right, we just had a big seller coming in at 72s and at 60s. Don't know if we're ready yet, but it's perking. She be perking. Nvidia catching a bid here as well at the lows. MAG also catching a bid inside PDC, coming back to PDH here. It's definitely, this is definitely a level. We're just going to have to time this very, very well. I want to be patient. There'll be an opportunity here. If they hold 4s, interested. If they lose 4s, I'm not interested in the short down to 3s. I'm going to let that short, I talked about it pre-market, I will let them fade it all the way down to 3s and see if they bid 3s. I'll get a cheap buy at 3s. I'll add into the long on a reclaim of 4s, and I'll be targeting where we failed this morning, right? Point of control, and then 680s. So my plan is still some kind of variation of this, and if I get lucky above this, or this, and this, right? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm sticking to that. I already know what I'm looking for. So if I close my eyes and I do like a visualization plan, I know what I'm looking for. That's the pattern, and at the lows of that pattern, I'm looking for sellers, which we're starting to kind of see down here. So I'm starting to get really interested. There's another ton of sellers have just come in on the tape down here. And if we can get like a 9:45, 10 o'clock bid, it would be quite nice, I think. All right, a little bit of exhaustion down there from these sellers. They're trying to trade us under 460. They keep getting stuck. Are there any big boys lower? Let me just see if there's anyone down at 3s. 375s. Come on, Bookmap, God. Not really. 375s, there's a little bit of 3s, not a lot. Oh my God, Bookmap's really struggling. Keep getting warning signs on the top left. Remove the add-ons, it says. Don't have any, mate. All right, fresh lows, semis. Remember, 120 over under is their level. Nvidia's bidding back up now. So the basket's weak and Nvidia's finding a bid. Mags has now closed its gap. 67.50s is its key level. It needs to hold that. Starting to see a bit of compression down here. It's perking my interest here. It's really perking my interest. I wouldn't mind one little flush first before we do this move back up. I'm going to watch this now. If they rebid 80s, 82s, I'm going to bid it. Don't do the whole fucking move without me, mate. Please. I've been very patient again today. Here's value area high for the session, 510s. I'm looking to see if they're going to hold these sellers now who are trapped at 482 and below. This is exactly what I wanted. So we've had sellers pile in at these lows. All right, if we look at this, they've piled in at the lows, at the level where I want to buy. I'm just looking to see if we come back and hold 82s. We're going to fill all these imbalances upside. Hopefully we can get Alex a fill before it runs away. So this is exactly what I wanted to see. It's just in typical NQ fashion, when it turns, it fucking turns, mate. It goes. When it goes, it goes. So I'm going to watch 82s here. There is a little LVN at 96s. I'm going to watch 82s and 96s to see if they hold on a pullback here. Long or short, you got to be joking. There's the absorption down there as well. We're getting delta divergence. All right. Forced to chase a little bit at 10s there. My stop's break even already on that because I'm expecting it to come to 80s, but I've got a little piece on there as we traded through value area high on the session. Here we go. Here's VWAP. Right, I'm going to move my stop up now into the money, protect New York Open, see if we can get up to 580. Try and let this work. I'm actually hoping I get stopped out and we flush down to 480. I'm actually would much rather it does that right now. We'll get a cheaper buy. Right on my stop here. There we go. Stopped out on that little wiggle. I will get in if we break back above and hold. Here goes Nvidia. Here goes semis. Please, market, come back to 480s for you. New high day, Nvidia. Please come back to 480s. Here we go. Come back to 480s for me. Down, 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 down. Please come 480s. We're holding the LVN at 96s at the moment. Please come 480s. I want to see what happens at 480s. Gives me much more confidence if we come to 480s and hold the bid. So I'm not just going to bid it. I want to see sellers get absorbed. Yeah, all right. Little piece on there. Not risking much here. That's the 480 hold. Fantastic. Right. Can we bid back over? Yep, we can. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. All right. Stop's going straight in at my entry because it shouldn't trade under that now. That's confirmation those sellers are stuck. Lift and go. Let's go. Lift. Off you go, mate. I don't even want to look at this for the rest of the day. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Lifty lift. Please. Please, sir. Don't you come anywhere near me. Let me just have one day where I get a nice entry and I can just relax. Because all week you've made my life a pain in the ass. I want this to just come straight upside now. So my target is 570s. And then it's actually 680s, right? Over 570s, I think we can go 680s. This was the plan I was looking at pre-market. If we come and knock me out, that's fine. I'll take the stop. So it will be a positive stop. I won't let it trade under 480s. What was the plan we were looking for, guys? Buys in and around here. If they trade under this and trade down, that's fine. We will stop out well in the money and we'll have another look at it down here. But at the moment, we look good. What's not going to happen? Simple nothing. What is not going to happen, my friend? You don't think I can trade up to these highs? You don't think I can trade up to here? Is that what you're saying? Oh, fuck you, mate. Oh, what just happened? TP1. Right, we'll see if we can get up to here to 680 now. Oh, did you just talk shit in chat? Chat shit, get banged. Chat shit, get banged. That's our entry. Our stop is mega tight. That is TP1, which we just hit. Next level I'm looking for is all the way up here. God, can you read the order flow? Or are you chatting shit in chat like normal? All right, TP1 there, into the red line. 70s, if we get over that, we're going to look for this move into 680s. How accurate was that dip buy? Why was it accurate? What did we have at the lows? What did we say we were looking for? I'm going to keep drilling this into you until you lot get it. All right, seller at the highs, I'm going to expect him to get punished. All right, so I want to see us really start expanding up here and trapping everyone who's like absolute adamant and this market needs to move lower. So that would be nice for me. What we have down here is silly sellers into our key level. All right. Anyone who's in Discord, I said, I think we will try and attempt to keep that gap open for a gap and go. That's what we're having this morning. It is a gap and go. The only thing that filled the gap was the mags. And what do you think happened after mags filled the gap? Oh, yeah. Are we bid long in everything right now? Yes, we are. There's software, there's mags. Semis are trying. They're trying, but the good thing is Nvidia's lifting for the first time really this year. So we look good. Up, up and away, baby. I'm holding for 680s now. This was my plan. And if we get over 680s, I'm looking for 800, which is the expected move. And it's an old point of control. We went over all of this pre-market. You should not be surprised by what I'm trading and what I'm looking for. Either way, this is a nice trade. This is exactly how I would like to start the day. Amazing call out. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, let's go over why, because I can let this work right now. I would just want the bid to hold 40-ish, really. Let's go over why. All right, because things changed here, right? Things changed here. You have to understand things changed here. This was what's key, right? Your gap, your opening gap is not this that you guys think it is, right? It's down here, right? So your gap is here. So when we open up here, we're gap and go, right? We're looking for a gap and go. So what are we looking for? Well, there's RBS. Remember what went over pre-market. There's the LVN from last week. We would like that LVN to be protected. What did we protect? No way. No way. Did we protect that LVN? Yes, we did. What's here? RBS. What are we looking for? Dip buys. If we fail 400, what did we say? We'll come threes. Alex will ignore the short. He'll try and trade long out threes, add on the fours, look for 580s, and if we get above that, 680s. That's it. That's it. That's the first play I'm looking for. We've already hit TPs. I'm out of this now because we've just lost 540s while I've been watching this. And I'll watch this same area. So 100 points, 100 odd points locked in here. And I'll watch the same area now. Down here. Exactly the same story. Nothing changes for me. For me, all I can see is this right here. These sellers at these lows are currently stuck, and that's all I care about right now. And there's delta divergence down there. It might be that we rebid this again a second time round. I'm not going to have a second go at this at the moment. I'm going to wait for these players to make a decision on what they want. All right, but it's these sellers who are stuck. That's why we traded. If we think about this number here, where did we trade long from? All right, these sort of 80s, this level here where we broke above, where these sellers got stuck. We are holding this level again now. I'm going to give this a little bit of time to develop. We've just locked in a good chunk of money. These sellers remain stuck. They absolutely remain stuck down here. Until we trade a new low of day, they will remain stuck. And we've got an LVN developing here at these 80s where we tried to bid out of last time. So it might be a rebid here. I'm just going to be patient and let this develop a little bit. What we are seeing is weakness in semiconductors right now. Right, so we're seeing strength in software, strength in the mag. We're actually seeing strength okay in Nvidia. What we are seeing is weakness in semiconductors. Interesting. They're starting to lose the 120, so they might go neg gamma soon. Where's neg gamma? 115s on semi. So we do need to be aware of that. Let me have a look at this. It's interesting. So they're split here, but these guys down here are getting hammered, I guess. Let's have a little look. SNDK, where are we trading at on some of these names? Yeah, look at that. It's interesting, isn't it? The complete opposite to like Nvidia coming back into key levels. AVGO, are we looking on that? Yeah, coming back in. AMD. Can we type that? AMD. Coming back in. Volatile market this. INTC. TC. Sellers still stuck at lows here. They're still not been allowed to get out. Again, we hit TP1. I'm just going to sit for a minute and just watch the tape and let it develop. What I'm watching is I want to see if this can develop a bid. Is this flush out going to develop a bid and join 9:45, 10 o'clock for that drive higher? All I know is sellers remain stuck here, but I just want to let this develop a little bit. Maybe I could have taken a cheap long down there, but I have got an eye on semis. All right, semis reclaimed 120. They're coming back to VWAP. All right, so that's a really good sign that they wanted to hold that zero line. Mags looks very strong. Look at this bid off where these trap sellers are. Jeez Louise. Did anyone buy that? Did anyone double dip at that? That flip of Delta as well down there. Did anyone double dip that down there? Yeah, you guys did. Double dipped it. Good for you. Good for you. Well done, guys. I would TP a little bit here at value area high for the session. Do you guys prefer this chart looking like this so you can see this aggregate of delta? Is that better? It's not ideal, is it? I'll get there, guys. I'll get there on the coding. It's a bit tough. Yeah, sorry. It doesn't look the best, does it? It's the first day we're using it. I'm trying to get it better for you guys. I'm not going to release it until we've got good action. So this down here is a new version of cumulative delta. So we've got these divergence lines down here now. I'll try and get them so we can get them on the chart as well. And then we've got, this is your delta profile and this is your anchored volume profile. Yeah, it looks a bit big, doesn't it? I don't think I've got an option to make it smaller. Session delta. Delta profile. Minimum gap from candles 4. Maximum width of bars. Hang on. If I make that, does that help? Or does that just make the bar thinner? Extend left. Does that help? Oh, that's better, isn't it? There we go. Let's try 10. It's a bit too small. Let's try 15. That's better. That's already better. Okay, 15's too big. Let's try 10 then. Meet you in the middle. There we go. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. You want it more transparent? This more transparent? Yeah, overlaps the gex, I know. Well, we can change the positioning, I guess. Gap from candle. Should we make it 15? Will that move it further right? That's even worse, isn't it? What about right next to the candle? No, it doesn't like it. That's too far. That's too far. Let's come off the screen altogether. 20. That's better. That's better, right? There we go. We're getting a bid. Yeah, we are. There's some sellers at these lows at 40s. So I will watch value area high here at 40s. I'll also watch that point of control at 500s. Nvidia's found a bid. Semis are finding a bid. They're stuck between New York VWAP and 120s on the semis. We'll see if we hold a pullback here now. I've got to turn this copier off, otherwise I'm going to make too much money on some of these. What one do I want? You, sir. I'll take you. 37s. All right, so watching this little LVN here, there are some imbalances down to VPOC. You've got to see semiconductors hold the 120 here, I think. So they just rejected VWAP. They're coming back to 120. This is why I'm letting it develop. It's mainly about the semiconductors right now. First world problems might make too much money. It's true. Well, I don't mind my TPT. I can keep trading, right? So I'm up like a good few thousand on that. My Lucid, I'm up over 1,000 on. Some of my Apex, I'm pushing 600 to 800 on. I've just got to be careful on a few of them. Right, nice hold of fives. Nice hold of 120s. I'll dip this if we hold fives here, and then if we break back over 24s. So watching this into fives if they're willing to hold it or not. If we lose fives, we're going to flush to 460s, so we've got to be careful. There is a buyer here. Semis at this 120 level. Big level on semis. If they let go of this, there's going to be an instant flush. So it's a big level. Nvidia's holding on really well. Semis are trading that 0 gamma line. There's the 5. They're trying to hold this 5. Semis are starting to let go 120s. I'll be very careful here on the buy. Be very, very careful here if you're trying to buy this. I'm watching it, but I don't like what semis are doing right now. They've got to reclaim 120s here, and they can't. That basket is interesting. That basket, man. It's interesting that the amount of weakness coming out of that basket, and especially the leverage coming out of it, because Nvidia's had a good quarter, is really interesting. This is all on these. Here they are at the lows. Look how different these are. Bid at the lows. And Nvidia's not at the lows, so they are not following suit. The air's come out of the balloon a little bit. Remember, I'm interested in buys down here if we trap. We've now let those sellers out. I would say that. We've just traded into previous day high. As much I want to do yet. Letting this develop. Semis coming down to previous day high and PDC, so they're about to close their gap here on semis. And I think if they lose that gap, if they lose 115s, we go neg gamma on semis, and that will really drag the market if they do that. Big if, but it's possible. Four-hour looks horrible. Well, it's just in consolidation. To me, it just looks like it's in consolidation. If you draw a line chart on that 4-hour, you're still holding over its RBS zone, aren't you? So it's just in consolidation up here, which is to be expected. Big gap and go. Couldn't get through value area high from last week. Pulling back into this RBS zone down here in this blue box. Wasn't much transaction down there. There isn't much of a willingness to trade down there at the moment, which is often a good sign of the end of the auction. Let's see if they hold 450s here on a reclaim. So basically no one wanted to do business under 450s right now. That might be the end of that auction. I just wonder if semis need to close that gap first. If we pull back and hold 450s here, I'm going to have a little go at a very, very cheap long. So if they pull back and hold 450s here, I will look at it. There is still a seller absorbing up here. Please come back to 450. Please, 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 please. Please. No. You fucking asshole. NQ, when you go, you just fucking go. Come on. Come to 450 and show me. No, literally no one wanted to do business. Look how thin we are down here, folks. No one was interested in doing business in this blue box. Zero interest, which is why at the moment I want to see if we can do this now. Maybe some of you caught that. Oh God, you're going to go without me. Story of my life. Story of my life. The hourly looks bearish. I don't know what you're watching. It doesn't look bearish to me, mate. Looks like we've developed an overnight range with a gap. We don't look, for me, the hourly doesn't look bearish until we break back below the 300s. The triple dip into the blue box. We said blue box where we want to buy. All I wanted was a little return leg back in. Fucking runaway train. She gone. It might have been a liquidity sweep. It's exactly what it was, mate. It's literally exactly what it was. Into our key level. If you think about this, previous day high, gamma, RBS zone, down here, no one did business down there. No one. They were not interested in doing business down there, and that's normally the end of the auction. That's why all I'm waiting for is that. It won't come. It won't come. Probably because we let these shorts out. They were like, thank God for that. We're going to cover into that because we're stuck. Some idiot joined and no one else did business and we are up and away. Oh my God. Going to have to find a way of getting involved in this. Market feels cruel the last week. I swear. Like I can read it like a book. And the amount of time, how many streams in a row do you reckon we've done where we've moved 80 to 100 points without giving me my entry after I've waited patiently? Quite a lot, I reckon. Do I like D Money? Who's D Money? I've genuinely no idea who you're talking about. I haven't caught an easy money lately. I mean, we caught one today, right up to here. I just want another go at this. I want another go at this if they can hold. I just don't want to buy too high. If they can hold down here, I'm waiting to see if they come back. Nvidia approaching high of day. Semis into that 120. If they flip back above the 120, it'd be very good for semiconductors and it'd be very healthy for this market. I got a feeling we're just going to rip. I think we're going to absolutely rip without letting me in here. All right, just remember our idea today is basically to be long in the blue box. That's the idea. We want to be long somewhere in here, right? And our move is to here, TP1, and then TP2, and then through this. TP3 is up here. That's the idea today. They ain't giving it to me. Did I know Nvidia earnings that just happened? Were they any good? Did they beat? What was their guidance like? I got no idea. What was their guidance like? Was it good guidance? Did they put 40% guidance over what the street was expecting for next year? Did they? They might have done. All right, into your New York Open, into your value area high. So if you did somehow get the long down there without me, you bastards, you're coming into TP1, then you're into 580, and then you're into 680, okay? It's the same trade. I will watch, if we hold this New York Open and value area high, I'm going to have to be forced to have a go. It's fucking annoying, but I will have to be forced to have a go here. 20s, maybe for a shut down to 500 that holds. It's not ideal. Semis through to 120. Looking for a long here if I can get filled. I want to pull back in that, trap some sellers. Here come the sellers. Can we absorb 20s, 25-ish? There's the 25s. I'm just watching the tape here before I execute. This is New York Open. They need to hold this. If they don't hold this, we're going to go 500s. All right, feel along there. That's a bit of a shit fill at 25. I was trying to get filled down towards 20, but there we go. All right, so I'm long now. I'm not giving it room, and I just want to see this press it back up to 580 and then expand. I need to see semis hold over 120 here. If they lose 120s, I'll cut before this even comes anywhere. And I'd like to see 120, 130s be pushed through on SOXL. Here we go, folks. This is looking good. So I'm long. Let me put this in. I'm long in here right now. Right, my TP1 is this red line. Right, I only take a small partial here. I'm trying to get here if possible. Come on, baby. Can you just go? Can you just fucking for once? You've already done 100 points without me off these lows. Can you just go for me? Stops at New York Open here, by the way, folks. That blue line. Why? Because if we trade under that, then I think we trade 500. So I'm not willing to lose an extra 20 points when I've had to join late. Right? I can always get back in at 500s, right? Same theory. This is what I've been looking at all day. This is pre-market plan. Right, what am I looking at? It's the first thing I'm looking at, right? This kind of shape in and around the blue box. If we lose the blue box, we come down to there, but then our bid. Then the red line, see the red line? That's what we hit this morning. If we get above the red line, then we can start looking for previous week value area high. That's the 680s. And over that, if we get lucky, we'll get a squeeze right the way up to 800s. All right, so I'm just sticking to the plan. That's all I'm doing. Very close to my stop here at the New York Open. If they lose this, they come 500s, I'll stop out, and then I'll have another dip at it. Stopped out here. Let's see if we come 500s now, and I'll have another go if we do. If they can't hold fives, then we come value rotation, and they're going to put a big D shape in here if we're not careful without expansion. One day I'll get something to go for me without having to battle all day. One day. I don't know when, but one day. There's the reclaim. What do we hit there? 501. Market's just playing with me. Semi's getting rebalanced. Yeah, I would agree. We're just trading the 120s. They will. They're gonna sell everything that got over exuberant for the last 5 months. I think the same. I think Nvidia will suddenly become the leader again. All right, back over the fuck me, mate. I said I'll re-dip at 5s. It comes 501s. We're back over New York Open. I'm gonna have to have another go at this. Can we hold New York Open? Who's on the tape here? Let me have a little look. Mag new high day. Nvidia coming back down inside a bit. It is trading near in its upper quarter for the day. I'd say it needs to hold 24s. If it can't hold 24s, it comes 23s, which is VWAP on Nvidia. Semis are just trading around that 120. They're glued to it. They're under right now. That zero gamma line on semis starting to become pretty important by the looks of it. You can see we're trying to hold the 500s here. Stocks are below yet 120. Yeah, it is, but it goes below and then it bids straight back up to it. You see, if you look at it on like a 5-minute chart rather than 1 minute, don't get too glued in. It does have gap fill available. All right, so previous day high is 117.14. Gap fill is 116.64s. Where they're not getting follow through down there. There is a constant bid, and this is fairly common at the high volume node level for options. If we're just going to get stuck here, so I want to see them bid back over. Aren't we trading a range here? In the New York session, we are. Not in the current week. All right, but we are stuck. If you look at the week before, the red line is point control. Once we get over that, that's where we start to get the lift up here. For this New York session, remember, we're only 39 minutes in. We are in a range indeed. But that's just the last 39 minutes. I mean, you could argue it is also overnight, right? It's a large overnight move where we've been stuck in an hourly range. That's why we're trying to dip by the blue box at the bottom, which is the low of that hourly range. Where do I get access to the mag charts? What do you mean? All right, here it goes. Fuck me. I've got to get involved there. Value area high, 52s. Where's that last seller? 37s. All right, I'm long here, folks. I'm trying to play some momentum up here. Here we go. Added a bit late, but I didn't have a choice there. I knew it was going to go after that 37 got hit. All right, let's see if we can get up to 580s again. Had to join a little bit late here, unfortunately. I would really like it to hold a bid over 60s. No, I'm good. Thanks, love. Loves you. Here we go. Come on, 580s. Give me 580s, and then we can look for 680s. We're looking for red line. It's the same trade. I've joined a bit later. We're looking for red line and then blue line up here, folks. So if you want to trim some here, you can. I really want to see them hold the print. 52s is a tiny little LVN. 60s would be great. 52s I want to hold. Come on. Nice. Semis over 120. They're looking for VWAP again. Nvidia's at high of day. Mags is at high of day. Really good. Please hold the 52s here. Please don't let go of 52s here, market. Good hold of 52s. Let's go 58s. Let's give me a fill up here into 580s. Please, market. You're playing with me. Stop playing with my heart here. 52s needs to hold. I'm going to fill some topside into 580s if I can. Don't be a dick for a tick. We've missed it so far by about 8 points. But I think we can go 580 and then through that 680s. Trying to not trim any here early. Come on. Come on. Plenty of liquidity on the book up there. Get your ass going. Get going. Bone a candle. Here we go. Come on. Fucking didn't fill me there. Cannot believe you didn't fill me there. Well, my red line on NinjaTrader is slightly different to your red line here. So hopefully you guys filled some there. That's your TP1. Here again, your TP2's up here. Is what I'm looking for. It missed me there. Come on. Once we get through VWAP on semis, we can start lifting. Give me a fill. Oh! Can you give me a fucking fill, please? Give me the fill. Oh my God. Give me a fill. I'm bringing this down. Right, just fill me at 77s then. Right. Oh my God. Please, can you fill me at 77s, market? Stop playing with me. Yeah. All right. TP1 hit. Now I'm looking for 680s. Fuck me. They are like really making my life hard. Well, this was the buy down here. We wanted it. It wouldn't come back in and hold it. It just accelerated away. So we've had to join a bit later. My entry is actually a little bit higher than this, unfortunately. It's more up here in this candle. All right. And now we're looking 680s. It's been the same. Look, I'm just sticking to my rules. This is what I'm trading for. This is what I'm looking for. Blue box to hold. TP1 red line, TP2 up here. Simple as that. That's all I'm looking for. If we get through this, we're going to go for 800s. But I'm going to take 80% of my core position out into that. Tell your wife I was just singing a Craig David lyric. That's for your UKG heads. We have to trade. Maybe we'll change Craig David lyrics into like NQ lyrics now. Monday, couldn't fill me on Tuesday, ran all my fucking stops on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. I got rest on Saturday, it fucked me over on Sunday. Sounds about right. All right, 52s has to hold here. I'm trying to hold 52s. That would be a stop in the money. We're holding it well here at 52, so that's good. So my stop's in the money there, and we'll see if we can get TP2 up here. So we've already paid ourselves some into this. All right, we've already paid some into this. We're looking for this now, folks. Craig David. For any of you UK people, you'll know what that's from. Avid Marion. Oh my God. There's so much. My wife, if you're watching this, Jessica, why is there loose coffee in the bottom of that? That's terrible. You cost me a trade last night for thousands of dollars because I had to leave the screen, and now you've put coffee in my mouth, like ground coffee. Gross. What's the max move today? It's up towards 800, mate. It's here. That's why we're looking for it. And it's also no point of control. But where's Bookmap? Let's put you on Bookmap. And then if I lift Tanuki out, where's my Tanuki? Where are you? Let's lift you up here so they can see it. All right. So based on yesterday, the high for the day is going to be 669. But pre-market, because we remember we've gapped up. All right, we're looking for 844 to 943 is top side. And based on the opening range today, 788. Tanuki's saying 736 for an adaptive move today. All right, so this, all right, so we're looking for this, and if we get lucky, all the way up here. Either way, we've paid ourselves. Stops in at 52s. It goes or it doesn't, right? It's just as simple as that. We've positioned correctly. It's very unfortunate. This annoys me. I mean, if you go back to the tape here at 9:57 this morning, you'll hear me say, I think that's the end of the auction. No one wanted to do business down there. And then it just turned. I think I've got to get better. This is like, and I will journal this. I've got to get better at when I see this, not waiting for that. I've got to get better at when I see this just going long. Fuck it, I'm in. Right? Because I can read the tape well enough. The amount of times it doesn't do this for me at the moment is unprecedented. So I've got to be willing to just go, all right, I'm in. Well, we look good here still, folks. Do I use Gex? Is that a serious question? Genuinely, are you serious right now? What if I just shown you on the screen? What do you think these magical lines are? Right? Do you think these are here for my benefit? I can have them on other charts without this looking all crowded. These are the Gex levels. They're there to help you. All right. So we held cool wall number 1. We flipped it basically, and we are in a positive upside lift right now. All accounts locks, $3,400. Let's go. Thank you, sir. Brandon. Boom, 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 boom. And I also know Brandon absolutely hammered the short last night. Nice work, mate. You're on a flyer here. All right, here come the buyers. They're trying to step in on this opening range break high. All right, I would not want to be in new money long up here right now. I think it's better off that we just hold our positions and we try and let it work. It's what I'm going to try and do. Ideally, we protect 65s now. Here goes semis through the VWAP. All right, we'd like semis to get back up towards the 123s now, which would be the 24-hour VWAP and the New York Open. Nvidia's new high of day, Mag's new high of day. We just want the semis. Please, semis, can you just join these guys? These guys look great. Semis starting to join. If we can start lifting as a basket, that will really help. What I don't want to see is this and this. This will be really annoying. Then we're going to go into that rotational move. Either way, it's going to be a decent day, right? It's going to be a decent day. I don't even need to take another trade now. But if I can hold on to this and it works, it'd be very nice. If they want to be nasty and they do the rotation of the D shape, then, well, I will just stop out. All right. If they're going to just keep chopping this, if they rotate this, it'll be very annoying. I just would really like this to come in. But hey, that's what I'd like, whether it gives it to me or not. I can't control if it gives it to me. But we are into that key level, like on the hourly, on the weekly from previous week. These sort of 580s to 600. 610s, very thick node. It's the biggest node from last week. So that's why we're struggling here. Once we get through 610s, I think we get lift off. So we'll see. Once we get through 610s, we get pretty thin. And I think we might get lift off. Just passed an eval and 800 on the new funded. Thanks, Alex. You're welcome, man. Alex, what was the short last night? I did not take it, but I'm pretty sure Brandon, you took this, right, Brandon? I'm pretty sure you took the backside of this. You took that. I took that long. That's what I took. I took this long, and I took this long here, and I actually took it off here because I had to go out with the wife. And I think Brandon took that short. That's right, isn't it, Brandon? I'm pretty sure you took that short, and we took that long. Just shows you can make money both sides. And I can show you, guys. This is the bonus of being in Discord. Right? This is what happens when you're in Discord. Even when I'm not there, some great traders there. As I already said last night numerous times, dreamwork makes the team work. If we come up here, I won't play the voice note, but I basically said we'd be looking for a gap and go. Those are my entries. Right, there you go. There's Michael with a short off the highs. All right, after the failure, came back down in, and then I was getting long. All right, out of here. I think we drew it out. Did I drew it out higher? Where is it? There you go. 650, 680, 740, 800 is the target. So we hit 650 last night. We almost hit 680. All right, and this is what we're looking for. Positive gamma to start bidding this whole market up. And if we come down here, like, go, everyone joining in for the longs. All right, there's the relief blue box. Same as this morning. Look, blue box, relief. All right. Ads on the way up, and we're just going to target into those same key levels. And there's the pathing, and that's exactly what you got. Pullback held, bid back over 480, and then we came in all the way up here into 560s. And that's what they traded together. All right. All right. I would like this to hold 560 if possible here, folks. I don't really want it back down to 520, so I'd like to see us hold 560 here. I had to go out the wife. Well, I did. I get told off when I trade Globex, and rightly so. All right. Otherwise, I'm basically married to the screen. And I made a commitment to be married to her, not married to the screen. All right. Nice hold there in front of 65s. Get your ass up, market. Get your ass up. Let's get going. Let's get going. All right. I think through 610s is where we really start getting going. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Give it to me, baby. I like it when it's days like this. It makes life so much easier. Here we fucking go. Is there a fee for the Discord? There's no monthly fee or anything like that. All I ask is that you do the beginner to the advanced course. It's not because I'm trying to gatekeep like I've talked about. It's not why. It's so that everyone has the same understanding of market mechanics and what we're looking for. Because when I'm not at the screens, there's lots of guys that trade London and Globex. They can all support each other. That's the key thing. All right, there are some buyers keep getting stuck here at 600. I really want this to break through 610 and go. That's what I'd really like. 680, please. Yeah, 680 would be nice. This is actually, like, this is what's interesting when I test this. This is actually, what we're actually seeing up here is the opposite of that. What we're actually seeing is aggressive buyers be stuck, interestingly. So it's where it struggles. Let's see what it shows on footprint. I'm always interested. Can TradingView get it correct? No, it can't. Cannot. All right, this is not what we've seen. What we've seen is buyers up there. So it's interesting. It aggregates it incorrect still on TradingView. So it's only just like an estimate on TradingView. It's why I would always advise, if you can, use Bookmap or NinjaTrader or Deep DOM or Deep Charts, whatever it is. What software do I use for GEX? For GEX, I use Tanuki. For footprint, I use Spectra Pro, Flowzone Spectra Pro on NinjaTrader. Come on, market. 610 break, please. Semis might come back down to VWAP and hold VWAP here, so we'll be watching that. And I want mags to hold the bid over 68s now. They're starting to pull back in. I'm trying to let it work. I'm just trying to let it work. It's part of my main thing this year is just trying to let the trades work. He's hawkish, is he? He got a hawkish tone. Let me have a look at his comments. Above target and persistent questions of how shocks will play out. I do not see the Fed providing restrictions for economy. Now is the time to act and persistence. Given persistent inflation, most recent inflation number was expected. I mean, what we're looking at, if he's going to say we're going to raise rates, like we know, it's not going to be a shock there for a raise on rates next month. It might be a shock to the Fed chair, who seems to think he's such an arrogant fuck that it's not going to happen. Maybe it's a shock to him, but it's not really a shock to anyone else. Here we go. Give me a 6-10 break and start squeezing, baby. Let's go. Get thin and go. Go, 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 go. We want 680s here. Let's go, baby. Am I still in this? What do you think? What do you think? Where's my target? Is there a reason to get out? Let's go. All right, we have to watch semis here in towards New York Open and 24-hour VWAP. So they held the New York VWAP, dipped, ripped, back to New York Open. If we can trade through that, it'd be fantastic. Lots of sellers coming up here towards the highs. All right, my stop's now moving up, folks. I'm now going to protect that point of control at 80. Maybe I'll put it at the other side of this, 70s. Maybe I'll put it at 70s, but really I don't want it underneath 88s. And you can see the target. Come to Papa. Come to Papa. Your Confluence is an Alex trade. Well, you're not getting one right now, buddy. Because I'm sat in this. I'm fucking annoyed I didn't get long down here, though, when I wanted it. Where's the guy that said we wouldn't get 580? Well, we've got it numerous times today, and I think we're going to get 680s. That's what the market wants. Where's that guy? He shorted. Oh, he left straight away. Did he actually, Murph? Because he said it, and I was like, really? Watch this. And it just went boom in one candle. When's NVIDIA earnings? Not till 2042. Yeah, no more earnings till 2042. You're looking at a short from 630 to 662. The issue with it, and it's not the worst, but the issue with it is that structurally the H1 has shifted, right? So if you read the newsletter, I think I posted it last night for the guys. Right? If you read the weekly newsletter I put out, if you go to the bullish section, where do we flip bullish? All right, here you go. All right, so effectively, just look at this. 29,300 cannot be defended and must basically be defended and reclaimed. And then we're looking for 29.4s. Where did we buy this morning? 29.4s. Where are we then looking for? 29,570. My partial was at 580. Then what are we looking for? 680s. Right, over 680s, what are we looking for? 800s. What's my final target today if we get through 680s? 800s, and then we can talk about end of week, right? We've shifted by holding 300 and 400. We've shifted. Now, that's not to say the market doesn't pull back, but it means you're going to be trading counter trend now. It was all in there. The newsletter, it was there for you. It was there for you. All right, I'm out of this now. That's my stop. Try to give it room. Don't want to give too much back on a flush. I will consider a redip back in if semis hold the VWAP here. So we've gone VWAP to VWAP. I'm happy to have a dip back into this. It might do it real quick. Where's this node? 530. What do we have here? 552, 540. What's the outline? Delta. Bookmap, come on, mate. Don't be annoying. 30. No one really. They're still very aggressively bidding this up here. If we can hold a dip into 50, I'll have another go. If you've just taken my stop again, mate, I'll be annoyed. If we dip into 50, I have another go. If we print over 88 and hold, I'll also have another go. Semis just did the VWAP to VWAP move. So if they hold New York VWAP, this thing can get going now again. One more go at this. I'm either looking for 550 to hold or I'm looking for a break above 590 to hold. So we either need to break and hold above or we need to come back down to 550 and find a bid. I'm not going to bid in this area here. Huge buyers on the tape. Yeah, there are. There are massive buyers on the tape here. Got to move this across, haven't I? Sorry, folks. So what I'm thinking about is either if they hold this, I might try and start it, and that would be Confluence. Or if they do this, I'm looking for this. What we need to be careful about is if they dip this and they fail this, then we go into that D shape. So really, we do need a variation of one of these to be uber bullish, right? Because we've got to get back over this guy. Is it a possible fake out? Yeah, absolutely. You mean for a fail break lower? Absolutely. It can just be a pullback which absorbs, especially given the structure, right? Look at this LVN. This is why I'm watching this LVN and I'm watching this here. It's a good little hold into that area. It's starting to look pretty good. Starting to look pretty good. So I've drawn out what I wanted. You know what I'm looking for. Here we go. So 50's just held there. If we break above 90s and hold, I'm long again. Here we go. Adding into this. And I want all dips now to hold 87s. Literally just drew this out for you. All right, come back into 90s and then I'll add some size. 87s maybe. Adding. Risks move to 75 now. I'm not going to let it come below 75 because that's where the big boy buyer comes in. I'm not going to risk the wick on these candles because if this buyer doesn't hold here and they wick it, it's going to flush big. All right, so I'm leaning on 75 here. It's a tight stop. This has to hold right here, right now, basically. If they don't hold this, I'm out. You can see the battle here. They know it. Bears know if they get under this and this buyer stops out, they get the flush. Out. I'll wait for a reclaim. I don't want to battle in case they flush this right down to 38s. Can always get back in. I never mind taking a small stop. Can always get back in. So it's these guys here, this big buyer here. I was trying to lean on him for the lift. If they can't hold above it, you see this flush comes straight down to here to 550. So this is why I want to bid above 85s really, and I want him to stay in the money. It's possible that they've just whipped me out to go again, but we can always get back in. That's the thing with trading. I'd rather manage my risk, can always get back in. We're up biggity big today. Now it's just finding this next area that we can trade in with good confluence. They might have just stopped me out to go again here into that LVN. I think they probably have. So I'll look for the same trade again. It'll be second attempt at this same trade again. If we can hold, ideally 87-ish, all right, or maybe break above 90s. What I don't want to see is it under 75s. Here we go. Is the move to 90s. All right, put a little piece of risk back on here again in case it goes without me. Small size. And if we get back through to 600, remember we're thin through 610. Don't want to be buying too big a size too late in the day here because we're only looking for 680s here. Yes, trading a high day, looking good. Semis are getting stuck. They're doing the old dance, the New York VWAP to 24-hour VWAP. That's where they're stuck right now. Mag's looking good, pulling back towards 68, 20s to 68, can still hold a bid there. I don't want to see Nvidia under 224s, 224.25s, and that'll be a problem. We're looking good here though, shaping up well. Mag's finding a bid. I'd really love semiconductors to get over their New York Open to make life a bit easier. Right, here we go. Can we hold the bid over 6s now and just rip through 610 and start getting up to 680? That's the question at the moment. Keeps getting stuck here at value area high for the session. So we're not finding acceptance through 600 right now. I think 610 is where we get going. The reason I say that is this. If you look at like here, all right, this is where I think we can get going, right? Because this is much thinner over 610. We have poked it a few times, but this was on a low volume move. I do think there's a chance to get up here today. It's what I would really like to see. What was the gamma? Is it 650, right? Yeah, 650. To keep reminding myself. Again, risk here becomes that player at 75. He has to hold it. So it's tight risk. I'm not really using this delta indicator. That's more for you guys. I don't 100% trust everything in it, but it's giving you an idea that at the high of day, we have a buyer stuck, right? Buyer stuck, right? Sellers are piling in here. You can see we're thin in here, and down here you have sellers stuck. So buyers really, right, want to keep these sellers in here stuck in this LVN, right? They will want to do this move, which I drew out for you earlier. If they lose this, right, then the rotation starts back down towards the lows. Okay, so this is showing you aggressive participants in the market. It's not always 100% accurate. I will warn you now. Right, TradingView does not have the same accuracy as something like NinjaTrader or Bookmap or anything else. Right, here's the LVN fill. So flat again, and we're silly. Semis just lost New York VWAP, so they're going to come for a 120 check again on semis. We might do a big D shape here, which would be gross for the day. It might be that we don't get much more today if they're going to come back down inside the range. Because what's the problem now is even if we think about dip buying this, we now have confirmed buyers up here and here stuck. Right, so even if we buy anywhere in here, we have to now respect this node. And that's the difference why we wanted it over it. Now we have to respect that. We have to, because it's what's just been built out. You like this indicator I've made? Well, it's not bad. It's not bad. I wonder if I can refine it a bit more. I will try. I'll try to keep working on it. Okay, VWAP holding. Remember, buyers are now stuck 575 and above. All right, 575 and above, which is basically this shelf. So the buyers are now stuck up there. So sellers, right, intraday sellers will want to do this. Buyers, and I'm not going to be interested now until we do this, because we've now lost, we've confirmed that we've lost that. Right, so there's no more buying opportunity for me until we get back above that, unless we're going to trade value again. So now flat. Only thing I'd say is, like, it's just not fully accurate, because this, if you think about this, look at these big buyers here. These are the guys that are stuck right now. Right, it's these guys. Now, if we get back above those, they get comfortable, and then we can think about the bid again, or at least that's how I'm going to operate. Semis want that 120 check. So they just lost a bid here on semiconductors. Right, look at this. Pinned in 120 on semis is like around here. So this is 24-hour VWAP. This is New York VWAP. They're coming for 120. They've now lost both. Mag still looks good. Right down into 60, all the way to 68 looks good. Right, this thing can afford to come down and find a rebid. So Mag looks strong today. And I'll just trade the same setup, right? Do you see why maybe this can help you? Do you see why if you put your risk here, you're likely to get washed? Why? Because the big buying volume is actually above it. That's why I lent on the buyer up here, not here. Because if I put my stop there, it's going to get run more. I know most people put stops at swing points. I don't want to do that in this scenario, because I know the amount of buyers stuck. Like, even the guy at 75 is a 200 lot, right? Just at that single level. So I'm going to assume he puts his stop at 63. The actual reality of it is, the moment we lost 75, we moved down to 43 in one candle. All right. So by using his pain and understanding his pain point, I probably saved myself. I definitely saved myself 10, 15 points. And maybe on slippage, I saved myself 30 points. What do you mean, where do I set my bubbles to locate the buyers? What do you mean, where? H1 continues to look more bearish. Again, I'm sorry, I just have to disagree with you. It's in a range and it's broken back out. Like, I don't understand how you can look at this. Here's your H1. How you look at this and think that's bearish. It's a range, and it's a bullish range that we've broken above. I don't understand what part of this looks extremely bearish to you. You can fade the top of the range back down if you want. I can agree with that. But the pro trend, pin low, pin low, pin low, breakout, trap sellers underneath, that ain't bearish, mate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, it's not bearish. You're looking at single candles, clearly. That's not structure. That's not appreciating this. This is where we're trying to trade into. This is the top side. What part of that is bearish? This is bearish. This is bearish. This is the end of auction. This is the flip. That's the continuation. This is a build out. It's not bearish. I'm sorry. I'll argue with you until the day I die. It ain't bearish, mate. It might be a range. You might want to trade the top side of the range back down to the bottom side of the range. But we aren't bearish until we move under this, because this is the liquidity build out. We move under this, I'll agree with you. At that point, you have buyers stuck and we can think about the downside pressure. Am I on the wrong thing? I'm on the wrong thing, aren't I? Here, sorry. H1. Right. Bearish, bearish, pivot, absorption, breakout, RBS, range, potential bullish range because we've shifted. Bearish, under this, correct. We'll agree with you there. Yeah. If you want to be bearish here down to here, makes sense. If you want to buy this up to this, makes sense. If we break out and go, great. But if you are trying to convince yourself that this whole thing needs to collapse, there is absolutely nothing in this tape to suggest that right now. Nothing. You are convincing yourself with bias rather than reading what's happening in front of you. Even intraday, so far intraday, what's happened? Washed both sides out. If we were bearish, why in this blue box have bears been stuck and we've lifted up from that? If we were truly bearish, we would have seen follow through. I'm planning to short if price sweeps above the 29,686 previous week value area high, only if we close back below 660. So you're planning a short if we break up here and close back below, and then you're going to trade the value area short. Good. Makes sense. Your description there is perfect. You're looking for a sweep on the liquidity, trap the buyers who are joining late for the breakout, reject expansion of value, and trade a weekly value area rotation. And I would imagine you'll be taking your first TP down here into 580, right? So you're going to trade basically this down to this, right? Makes sense. That is a legitimate setup. Absolutely. That is a legitimate setup. I would agree with that setup. That would be a rejection of 1 day max. Would it? You might be right. I'm just going to check. I mean, based on what though? Where's your 1 day from? Because we're already above. If you're doing it based on close yesterday, we're, I guess 669 is the extreme. So yeah, I mean, maybe you're right based on close yesterday. Otherwise, based on this morning's action, pre-market, and based on today's action, market is available to trade in towards 800 and above. Right? It's able to do it. If we start getting above 650, honestly, there isn't a whole lot for 0 DTE today above it. If we look above till tomorrow, 650, then you basically you got 650, 735, and you're straight into 855. And absolute gex is at 30,065 to close the week. Here we go. Well, how's that bullish kind of play working out for bearish play working out for you? Right, I will rejoin in with this again if we start to hold and base above here again. It'll be exactly the same play. Exactly the same play. This might be my final attempt, right? Because I'm bullish all the way up to here. Okay, so my final attempt will be the same move I've tried twice already. It will be some variation of this. It might even be that I'm willing to dip under this now and to look to trade up to here. Okay, and then if we get lucky, very lucky, expected move extremes, 800s, right? So I'm going to look to buy this if they're now willing to hold dips again. Remember that buyer that I was leaning on is at 75. He's now in the money. I don't mind if you got this wrong today. Like there's like as traders, we're not always going to get it right. Geez, I get it wrong all the time. Like if you let your ego convince you otherwise, like trading, we're going to make mistakes trading. All I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to fight you for my good. I'm trying to just open up your mind to seeing what's available. I'm now long there, guys, because that seller just got caught at 90s. We've got a little imbalance here, and then I'm looking for new high of day. All right, so I just lent on that 73 lot who got stuck at 90. So I feel a little bit late here. Unfortunately, I'm about 92s. Small size. I'm expecting this to come back down to 75 to 67. I will hold through that pullback, and I'll dip in if it comes down there. But I'm already positioned long at 92s. I'm expecting it to come deeper. New York VWAP was it? Yeah, I mean, it was. It's both. It's 24-hour VWAP and New York VWAP. So this is where I actually want to position long, where you can see. I probably want to tighten this up, right? That's where I want to try and get long, towards those 75s again. Get that buyer comfortable. And I want semis to hold this. So they came down towards 120s. They found a bid. I want them to hold their New York VWAP right now. Nvidia's breaking out towards high day, so we look good here. If we can rotate, if Nvidia catches the bid and semis actually want to bid with it, it would be really useful. If you look at MAG, what do we say? 68.20s to 68 needs to hold a bid. We came back down to 68.20s. Guess what? They held a bid. All right, I'm watching this now into 75s because I will dip this if we hold 75s. I've only got a starter on at 92, so I'm looking for 75s to hold. There is an imbalance down towards 67s here. Into that 75, added a piece there. Be careful with my stop here now. There we go. There's a reaction of 75s. Perfect. So the buyer's comfortable like we talked about. We should get going now, folks. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. Up you go, son. 620 break, 300 lot 620, and we break through that and we're fucking up and away, and we're going to go 680s. You can fight with me all you want, but I'm only trying to help. I'm only trying to help. Stops now at that 75, right? It's got no reason to come back down there. If it comes back under that, it's going to fill in and balance down to 67. So I'm not going to let it do that. I would rather stop out now that I resized in. Semis, you are going to be a pain, aren't you? You are going to fuck this up, semiconductors. I can feel it. I can feel that you want to be a pain in the ass today. Fucking hell, mate. There's my stop. Fucking semiconductors. What are they washing here? Someone's over leveraged in that basket, man. Alex trade coming up. That's going to be Alex trade. I'm not having another go at this because this will be my third attempt here. So starting to feel a little bit tilty playing this. I probably should have given it more risk. It's that 120 on semis. It's just acting like a magnet. We can't seem to like really get breaking away from it. Oh, do I have another go? Have I got it in me? Have I got it in me? Just filled that LVN again. I've got a feeling this is going to do the Alex trade now. That's the LVN tap. There's the sellers that are stuck. All right, there's the big candle. There's the LVN tap. I'm just trying to trade that. I'm trying to trade that move there. flat at the moment, as you can tell. I don't like what semiconductors are doing. I really do not like what they are doing right now. Oh, I just want to have a quick look. Sorry, folks. I just need to have a quick look through everything. Fucking hell, that looks absolute junk. And that there be the problem. Mm. 120 just held again. I'll tell you what's going through my head. My fear is that they drop 120 and the breadth goes and they just sell everything in semiconductor land and bid Nvidia up, and we get a mag shove and a rotation move. And that's where my head's at the moment, because we've had the chance to go. We've now held 120 for 20 minutes, but we can't get back through the VWAP. I got a feeling that Alex trade is coming here. I'm gonna be right, but it's gonna shake me out. It's like always the way. I'm gonna be right, but it's gonna shake me out. Sorry guys, sometimes I have to go through the process. Hit 1,700, stopped out after 2 nice long trades. Thanks, but I feel like I'm copying trading you rather than understanding the trades as much. Would your beginner to advanced course be good for me for futures? Yes, that's the best place to start, and then do the volume and order flow course if that's how you want to trade. But start with the beginner to advanced course, absolutely. D-shape forming, absolutely. We're in a D-shape. That's why I'm trying. I feel uncomfortable bidding here, right? The reason being is this shelf. I want us to get back above this shelf to bid, because if I keep bidding here, it's under that player at 75, right? And that becomes viable if they lose 120 in semis. That's why you've just heard me talk through it about 5 times to myself in my head and then go through those names, right? So what I'm concerned about is as they start to rotate these names, you can see the importance of 120 here. They're going to do the Alex trade, right? We just bid off this, and I was looking for them to hold this and do the move. They've come back for it again. They're still holding this 0 line. I want to see this move up here. They're going to do it now that they've shaken me out. You just know the market's got my number. Mr. Zero Sum Game, I mean, even though I've had a big day, has just taken my number today. 3 attempts up here, all for like, I don't know, 5 to 10 point stops. Maybe I'll have one more go. 87s, where's that last player? 81s, he bid. Where's that seller? 88s. I'm going to have one more go here. We've got unfinished auction as well at 605, so I'm going to have one more go here, I think. Can we come in a little bit more, please? I'm going to watch the 82s and I'm going to watch the 75s. What's the time? Oh, new hourly bar here. Oh, I don't think I want to bid before the new hour. We're looking on this bar. 10 seconds on it. I'm long. Small size. I'm very careful because it's a new hourly bar, but we might expand on this. I'm going to add 75 and 82s. Don't fuck me, semiconductors. Come on, finish the auction. Go, 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 go. They bid it again. I'm not sized. Here we go. Go. Now or never, baby. Now or never, baby. Right, stops break even straight away there. Go. That's completed the auction. We should now push to 25s and then 680s. It's got to go now. Stops in the money. I'm not giving this room. Didn't quite fill me enough size. Wanted it lower, but there we go. So I bid 92s. Come on, semis. Nvidia new high of day. Fantastic. Nvidia can pull back now to 26s. So come on, semis. Can you please stop faffing for me today? Just let me hit a final target. Just once. Just once. I've had one more go at this, guys. I'm at 92s. I'm here, guys. My stops are already break even. It's the same trade. I'm looking for this. It's the same trade all day. I'm going to let it work. It needs to hold 600s for me. Please. Please go. You've stopped me out. Yes. Yes. This is your last go. It's my last go as well, mate. It's my last go at it. It was tricky. They made it really tricky in here. This LVN held, but it's a very tough trade. Like being willing to bid this LVN when you know there's buyers who are caught there is really hard. That's why I was trying to bid above them. That's why every trade here has been above them. Trying to use them to lift it. And we'd like dips to hold 600 now, really. New high day Nvidia. Here goes semis. Go, 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 go. Turn it on. Through 22 to 23s now, please. Semiconductors. Turn it on, please. Come on, dealers. You can do it for me. I think this is fourth attempt at this trade in this level. I'm going to move my stop up a little bit here. Protect some profits. And that will get me net green on these last 4 trades. I really want this to hold 600s. There is a little imbalance there at 600 down to 99s. We're looking for a new high of day and 680s, folks. All right, that's what we're looking for. So if you want to partial sum out up here, you can. There has been no one's been willing to transact really above 615 and 619. That's true. There's been no willing participation up there. So it might be that we can't get through it today. I would love us to get through it, but at the moment, there's been a lack of participation. Right, here's the 600 test. It has to hold this. There goes my stop in the money. Alex trade coming up. Watch it. That's me done. Banning myself from trading now. Nice green day, but can't get the final move. Doesn't want to do it for me. Stopped out in the money there because I'm had to really pay myself after 4 attempts of the same trade. So I wanted to make sure I locked something in. Yeah, 3 goes at it. I think I had 4 goes at it. So I think I was like break even, -5, -10, and then scaled into that one. And here you go. It's going to be the Alex trade. It's got my number today. I've just got to admit it. All right. To stop myself trading, I'm going to go and get another coffee. I'm going to come back and this is going to be 680. Watch. Has it done it yet? Still trying. Still trying. All I would say, I'll take you over here. Just like the low of day, if you see here, there's a real lack of participation here, but we get very thin above this on previous week. I think there's a chance for just a rip move to reprice this, which is why I was trying to position for it. But a bit like low of day. Do you remember at lower day I wanted to get long? Right? It's the same kind of thing. We had all the shorts trapped. Here it goes. Fuck's sake, you absolute. See you next Tuesday. It's so annoying. This is when I get annoyed. This is when I get annoyed. It's not even the stops. I don't mind eating the stops. I like taking stops. I'm trading well when I'm taking stops. It's when it starts going, when I've had so many attempts. Right, they should. That's your first TP, right? IB high. You should really be looking for the expansion mode now. Up into here. Fuck's sake. IGV shit in the bed. Yeah, but it's done it so that semis can find the bid. Look at this. All right, it's come back in. It's not really shit in the bed. Shit in the bed, by the way, would be like under all this. Like, it's just a pullback. All right, but it's done it so semis can find this bid out. All right, that's certainly not really shit in the bed, is it? If we just think about that. All right, that would be shit in the bed. Yeah, that certainly is not shit in the bed. Just so that we're clear. All right. I'm flat. I'm done. I'm done. Semis are now basing above New York VWAP, coming up towards the New York Open. This thing should really go for you at this point. They should really lift this thing for you. As long as they don't do the mag rotation, as long as mag holds the bid above 68.20 to 68, you should see the continued upside pressure now. Too late for me. It is what it is. AM, I'm not reading that out. The most difficult game in the world. It is, man. It is. Like, I think what's tough today is where did we want to be a buyer here? How quickly did we move away once we came? Look how we reacted off this zone. Moment we came in, we ripped. This would be a much easier trade, all right? And I've got to work on this. It's like not waiting for that. Understanding, all right, they can't trade. No one wants to participate. Just get long. Just get long there, Alex. If I'm long there and I'm adding here, I can sit through all this because my core position's here. And that's the problem. Missing this meant I had to attempt to join later. And that's when it becomes harder. It's much easier when you can see this. And I did see it live. You hear me talk about it live. But I wait for that pullback. And that's maybe something I've got to work on. That's probably something I've got to work on to improve. How big are my stops if at edge of node or on top of player? They're right into that player, right? So do you remember earlier I was thinking, what was I bidding? Like 82s or 92s and 75, and my stop was right under 75, right? And I can show you why. If we think about where's 75, right? This guy here. All right, so this see these guys here, boom, boom, boom. That's all buy side, right? So my stop went right under him, right? Because the moment we lose him, we are likely to do this. And if I put my stop here, right, which is how I would normally do it, but if I put my stop here, it's likely, right, that I don't get filled to down here, right? It's likely that I don't get filled my stop here, I get filled down here. So if I can save myself some, I will. By just being like, well, if we trade under him, I'm going to assume he's lost the bid and we're going to flush. And then what I tried to do, rather than dipping down here, was to wait for us to print back over this same guy, remember? And then use him to lift. It's just they did the under over a few times. Now it looks like we've got the shot at doing it. So thesis was correct. I don't even think trade execution was that bad. I'll rewind the tape and watch it, as I always do. It's just, all we can do is manage risk. I think I've done the best I can do. If the market don't do what I want, that's just part of it, right? Been a good day, though. It's not been a bad day. It's been a great day. It would have been a really good day if I'd got my fill down here. But some of you bid down there, right? Am I right in thinking that? Some of you just took the bid. Why are we failing the highs again and again? I don't think we're failing the highs, are we? We're coming into them and pulling back off them. We're poking into them and pulling back off them. I don't think we've failed anything yet, right? Because the shelf now is here, all right? People probably don't want to willingly buy here at the moment because they know that this is the target. Remember, they wanted to willingly buy here. What we need now is a positive gamma move. We need this to like come back in and go into one of these slow grinds. And what we need is shorts to keep piling in and us just slowly grind up. That's why the key position was to buy down here, because if we're buying here, we are buying late. We wanted to buy down here. We bought here this morning, TP1, stopped out on the rest. We bought here this morning, TP1, got some more, stopped out on the rest, right? We bought here, stopped out minus like 5 points or something. We bought here, stopped out minus 5 points or something. We bought here, stopped out in the money. What I did, some of you might still be in it, right? Structurally, this looks like a fairly typical positive gamma day. All right, here is where I want it to get to. You lose this, and you lose 75s, then you can talk about failures. We don't have that yet. Pork chop, step away, live to fight another day. I quite like that. It's a good rhyme. Don't revenge trade. Yeah, no revenge trading. Like it can go without me. Like I said, I've had a really good day. It's not like we've had a bad day. It could have been better. But I'm here hoping that maybe some of you are still long from down here. Maybe some of you are still long from this. There's work to be done for me, because you got to argue, why did you stop there, Alex? Why did you stop there? All right, so there's work to be done for me for trying to complete these whole moves. I'm not a perfect trader, far from it. A long way to go. I think I read the tape really well. My understanding of the market is really good. I don't really fight much. I'm normally trading pretty well. I take my stops. Should I be holding trades longer? That's the next part, right? Can I hold my trades longer? Right? Can I withstand that coming back to my break even? And instead of just taking it off, just letting it go, having 100% confidence that your target of 650 and 680, which has been your target that you suggested in the newsletter, all right, over 400, right? I would expect 400 to 680 to remain highly competitive. Where did we buy this morning? 400. Where is our target? 680. All right, I planned this out last Saturday. I would say, I'll remind some of you, or not remind you, I'll tell you guys, this weekend, the newsletter might be a little bit incomplete. All right, I am taking a vacation after stream Friday. I'll be back for stream on Monday, but I have to complete that newsletter after the close on Saturday, and I can't. I'm away for my birthday. So I will do the newsletter. I will prepare you for next week. But what I would say is the previous day value areas and the previous week value areas may shift a bit from when I put them in the newsletter to what is available for you to pin and draw yourself. All right, so make sure you're doing that properly. When's my birthday? It's on the 30th. So is that a Sunday this week? I think it's a Sunday. Cheers, guys. But just so that you're aware, I don't know where I'm going. My wife's planned something, so. Yours is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Bias Trades. Happy birthday. Lots of Virgos in here by the sounds of it. Lots of you. Up 7:30 on my first PA. Nice, mate. Nice work. 41's a good year. You just turned 41. I hope it's a good year, mate. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, Leo Cusp. Come to Estonia. I won't be leaving. I won't even be leaving California. I doubt. Unless we're going to Arizona. I would imagine we're staying in California. Honestly, I just either want to sit by the beach or by a pool. That's all I want to do. I just want to switch off. Past evals, and I'm immediately up 1K today. Nice work, folks. Yeah, lots of you having a good green day. Honestly, just try and sit in this. If you're long from here, which is where I wanted to be long, or here, or even here. All right, I got a bit tight with my stop there. I'm not surprised I got tight with my stop there because it was my 4th attempt. All right, so I'm not surprised because I tried to dip that. I tried to dip that. I tried to dip that. I think I might have had 2 goes in here, so I'm not surprised I took that off. The reason I took it off when it came back in is because I wanted to pay for those. Right, that's where my mentality went. It went, well, you're going to pay for those break even or small losses. You're going to pay for those. That's a poor mentality because what I should have been doing is just being like, it's valid, let it go. So, like I said, there's room for improvement. Oh, thank you, Behave. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. If you look at Bookmap above, they are adding liquidity right now all the way up towards that 680 spot. Right, so maybe it can get there. ES, new high day, that thing's ripping. Semis are being sluggish. Mags is about to break out of its high day. It's done that inverted head and shoulders look. Semis are just making our life a little bit hard today. If we look over here, all right. Oh my god, what a beautiful move! All right, like fucking semiconductors, you pain in the butt. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful move, right? Trapped sellers at the lows, right? 2-leg pullback, right? Gets them compact, and that's your key level. If you're on ES, this is your TP1, 40s, then you're looking for 55s and then 65s. All right, this is a very typical positive gamma kind of move. This is what I was hoping we get on NQ. It might still come. It's just NQ's being a pain today. If we look at broader market, MAG's looking good. All right, we've now flipped this. Remember we said we wanted to hold this. It's now flipped it. 68.20s was the big hold right down there. Looks good for a breakout. IGV, like I said, I can't remember who said it. It's dumping, and I was like, that's not a dump. It's just a pullback. There you go. There's your W shape or your cup and handle. All right, 110s is the next level if they hold. IGV is looking good. It's just this mother clucker, which is slowing things down, unfortunately. It's what it is. It is what it is. I do need to check Moderna because I know they wanted to raise capital. These cheeky bastards. Stop still in place. I'm still looking good. Okay here. My stop's moved to here, so I'm break even on my stop here on this swing. They came out with news this morning. Basically, they're going to do an offering. I think it was. Assholes. I mean, I don't blame them, but it's annoying. So we're going to add more shares to the market. So we're going to have to find a way of absorbing these. Now, my stop's here because I don't want to risk this. Originally, my risk was here. I'm long here. My stop's now break even. I haven't taken any. I have not taken any. I'm holding for a bigger move for a swing. We'll see. Still valid for me. So the longer we go sideways, the better. But I don't like that news. It's kind of annoying. Expect that from small caps. Bastards. Can we get back to NQ? Hello? There we go. You need 600 to hold. It's that simple. Some of you might be trying to trade that Tyson trade. If 600 doesn't hold here for you guys who are long, I'd say it's problematic. How are we doing on the likes, folks? We do some more giveaways today. Did you get us there? Let's have a look where we're at. 40 minutes left. All right, at least 1,000 of you have not hit that like button. Please smash the like button. The newsletter goes out Saturday morning. It's just once a week. If I ever move it to every day, I will have to pay for it. I cannot tell you how much work goes into that newsletter on a Friday. It's an awful lot of work. So once a week is enough. I can't. I've only got so much time in my life, right? I do as much as I can for free for you guys. Turn up here every day for free. I do a newsletter for free. Newsletter is highly accurate. I give as much edges away as I feel comfortable doing for free. You're still holding long from 437. Oh, mate, I'm jealous. That was it. That was it. Down there was it. You absolutely nailed that. Took majority partials at 600, holding the rest to 670. Stops trailed and profit. Trades by Kyla. I like that. Is just fantastic. I'm jealous, mate. That is fantastic trading. Now, genuine question here. What was your Confluence? Was it me? You can be honest. Was it me? Did you see that the lack of participation down here? Was it the previous day high? Did you dip on the way in, or were you looking for that and you just got aggressive on the way out? I'm just interested. There's no wrong answer. I'm just interested. Or maybe you saw something completely different that I haven't seen. Previous day high. The blue box. I mean, it's all the same things. It's just a big area, isn't it? Is it better to get System Pro on NT or TradingView? I only have 2 monitors. What do you think, Alex? Depends what you prefer trading on. If you execute on NinjaTrader, I'd say get it on NinjaTrader, right? Don't get it on TradingView as well. I only have TradingView up because I teach you guys on it. It's much easier for me to teach on TradingView. Otherwise, I'd be way more focused on NinjaTrader. The nice thing about TradingView is that I can look at QQQ and VIX and ES and spiders and semiconductors and mags and quickly flick through all the other names. It is great for looking at the broader market, but for actual execution, CrowdStrike, yeah, I know. What a beat, man. Software going bonkers on that. I was hoping we'd get like a lift on Oracle from it today, but we haven't. Hopeful thinking, but Hood's looking good. Like the swings are still looking really good. You're starting to lose 600 here. So those of you who are in the Tyson trade, I would be taking a little bit of an early partial into this point of control here, right? And if you get under that, then you get your first full move on the Tyson trade, the IB to VWAP trade, right? But I would be very careful of this level here, right? I know some of you will be short in that from the IB, that's your trade, right? I would be taking a small partial into this. 600 has been lost now. Buyers now have lost that bid. There's your TP1, and then your TP2 is 545. Your TP3 would be 488. So TP1 just be hit for you. You're still looking for a rebid, Tyson? What is a Tyson trade? There's two. It's an initial balance trade, right? So it's basically an initial balance to VWAP, an initial balance to VWAP, or it's an expansion trade for a 1.5 based on this, which probably gets us to there. Yeah, 720. This was the short you're looking for, 630 to 661. Not in it though. You got me my daily goal with that long. Good trade day. Thank you. Nice work, mate. Yeah, like I said, if you are short here, I think you got to respect POC, right? Because it's not just today's; it's previous weeks. Remember, we're always zooming out. Don't get too focused in. So think about this. All right, it's a big level now. All right, and what I would say, it's also 2026s. I'm pretty sure 580 is still 2026s. We can have a look, right? So if they hold this, they can still look for this move. If they lose this, we come back down to the edge of this. Now, where it becomes key is the daily, right? Think about the daily, how we started every single trade, every single shows. I mean, every single stream, right? Here's the 2026 point of control. It is currently pretty much there, 570. Yeah, and we're back inside the node. And do you remember I said over this 680 is massive, right? This is where we're now stuck in. Now we get over sort of 680, then I expect us to come and test 900. All right, and then you've got to argue over that. Breakout's possible. If we keep failing 680, there is still a chance that it's a trade to the mid-range and that they sell it. I can't rule that out yet, but they're going to have to go 680 to 700, fail, retest 500, 550, fail for that downside pressure, right? Otherwise, this is still available, and we are into Chop City. All right, think about what we've done in here. This is since May. We are now approaching September. This is where we've conducted most of the volume for this whole year has been conducted in here, and you can see it's an absolute delight to trade. We love trading in here, don't we, team? Whack. No thanks. Does the Tyson trade work on Globex? Absolutely. But you'd have to be doing the initial balance of each session, right? You'd need to backtest it. Alexander, the guy with 7 points. Yesterday I did great and passed 5 accounts. Today I lost it. Big ranges and I got wiped the hell out. Lost 5 PAs on the big moves. Even after an hour I lost it. Like I said, I don't think there's an edge in playing a hard stop based on points. So I'm also not sure how, if you've got a stop loss which is just 7 points, how you're wiping out. Because you'd have to be way oversized. EMA trend friend still working. I think to add EMAs back to strategy in this environment. Yeah, still working, mate. I still have it on my monitor down here. Yep. Trend friend pro for Ninja Trader. This will become available soon as well. Still working. Flow zone system, still working. Everything's still working. But remember, those systems will work better in trending environments. We're not really in a trending environment yet. We're still in a range environment. We've broken out on the hourlies, right? But we're in a daily range. That's what we have to remember. All right, looks like the Tyson trade is going to pay you now under this POC, your next spot. You can watch, you might want to take a partial into 62s, and then you're going to get your full TP into VWAP. So those of you who are taking this Tyson trade right here, all right, IB to VWAP, TP1, I'd say TP2, and then VWAP. And if you let go of VWAP, you can try and hold a runner for the right back to value area low. But I'd say most of your money out into here, folks, for those of you who are taking that Tyson trade. How do you know if I should be looking for IB expansion or IB to VWAP? Well, we didn't. It's more about the core positioning. I wouldn't be a new money long here today, right? Because your target is only here, right? We needed to be a new money long here, here, or even here above this. It doesn't mean it can't do the expansion, but I wouldn't be repositioning long up here, right? It'd be the worst thing to do. If the IB was here today, right? Let's say the IB was like this today, we could have looked for the expansion model, right? As in a new money long. So it's also, you have to think about context. Doesn't mean we can't expand higher, but I wouldn't be a new money long up there. Can you get a brief breakdown on the Tyson trade? Just go and, there's a free video on it on my channel. Just go and look at the initial balance video. Do I think silver's done the correction? I gone mad. Might do a little bit more. It's certainly done a 2-leg. If they hold 66,655, they might look for that POC move, which is also a 30% of this range. All right, and then I'd imagine there's a resell there. If they sell now, I'd almost be entitled to like wait for this, for the pressure. Yeah, that's your over under. I don't think we're ever coming up here. These guys are fucked. I've said it the whole time. Like, retest, fail, retest, fail. All right, everyone's calling for this. Like, oh, we're going back to highs. I just don't see it. I just don't see it, mate. Don't see it. All right, LVN held into 65. Back to POC. Battles on the hands right now. So you should have covered a chunk into here, like we talked about. This is your final target, or for 70-80% of it out. Do I have a trade? Not right now, Harry. I think I'm done, mate. Only because I ate quite a few stops here today in these trades. And we've had like multiple attempts now to get up there. All right, and we haven't completed the move. And I'm not sure I want to give back. I've had a really good morning. This was nice. This was nice. This was not as nice. We've got 25 minutes into lunch. All right, some guys would be short from here right now. This would be their final target. I will watch the market as we come in, but I think the main core positioning today needed to be long down here, and everything after that has been a bit of a struggle, which is not surprising. How do I keep runners if I only trade 2 micros? I'm always afraid to lose money. Well, you got 2 micros, so you can take 1 partial and then you can move a stop break even, can't you, or something, and just let the other one run. So like, for example, if you were long, if you did get that long down here today, your TP1 would have been here, and then you can move break even and you can try and see if you can get up there. All right, and you could move your stop here, for example, and protect that, and then you'd now be out. You've still got 2 opportunities, so you've got 2 targets to aim for. If you're not willing to do that, you could be TP1, and then you could, like, you know, wait for the swing points, stop underneath, stop underneath, stop underneath, stop underneath, stop underneath, stop out. You trail it. I think you're going to get this VWAP trade come in now. It looks good. 437 had divergences. Yeah, it did. Like down here, it had lots of things going for it. It was just a little quick. it had a lot of things going for it. Everything under 450 was not liked. No one wanted to participate down there. Am I still long biased to 680? Like, yes, but I wouldn't be a new money long now. They've had the opportunity to do it. Like, things are starting to shift. You have to understand, like, we have to be dynamic. We now have buyers up here and a failed auction. No one wanted to participate for this move, right? We've now failed this high volume node for the day. All right, so buyers over here are now stuck. Doesn't mean we can't come up here again, but it's different to when we're this side of the move, right? We're starting to potentially see it might want to come down to here. We have to like respect what happens during the session. During the session, semis look like they're coming to 120 again. We only get so many opportunities a day, and if you keep trying to trade the same opportunity without, you know, giving credence to what's happened, here's the IB to VWAP, here's the Tyson trade, here's your TP, folks. Under here you go New York Open, under there you come down towards the lows. I'm gonna zoom this in. I'm gonna delete these just because they're on my H1 chart and they are taking up space, and I need to see it a bit cleaner. You're almost there into the VWAPs. And then if you flush VWAP, you can basically look for 500. All right, if they got nasty here, which will need semis to trade under 120s, which they're coming back to. If they flush that, you might get a move towards 500, right? 490s. Your explanation of the correlation of specific sectors of NQ has really helped me learn to be patient and sit on my hands, which has been the biggest game changer for me. Thank you for that. You're welcome, mate. Nice work. In your opinion, volume profile should be set to session profile only, and we can check what's happening on swings and measure them and see the VP? I only use it for New York. That's not to say I don't look at Globex. I always mark out Globex first if it's areas of interest, but that's how I trade it. You don't have to trade it the same. Previous day high test playing out. I mean, that's right the way down here. I'm not sure you're anywhere near that yet to be thinking about it. I think VWAP has played out. IB to VWAP has played out. What's a good start point? I would start on like 50 to 75 on the NQ. Depends what you're trading. Obviously, you're going to have to put a lot more than that if you're watching the MNQ, right? Okay, there's the bid off VWAP. So I'm going to come back to this LVN, and sellers will want to protect this LVN now. So 62 up towards 72 will want to be protected by sellers. You should have hit most of your TP. I'd be 70-80% out here if you were taking the IB to VWAP trade. And then you can look to see if they're going to come down to 525s and then 490s, right? Those are your runners. I don't expect the market to do that, but if we do get this flush sub 120 on semiconductors, it will drag the market down with it. We'll try to look for entry from 50% fib around 530. Where can I see time interval on your chart to show when you show some stocks? I don't know what you mean, time interval, where I show stocks. Sorry, Peter, what do you mean, my friend? I'm not sure what you're asking. Have I looked into trading range more in the New York session, considering 70% of the time it will range and Globex futures launched 80% of directional move happen then? Look, I do trade. It's not like I don't trade range, but I like deep extremes. Like this here is what I was trying to do. That's exactly what I was trying to do. What I don't like is like days like yesterday. There is a difference, right? So today, right, we've gapped up above this range. We've created an H1 range in an RBS. I'm trying to dip by this for this move up. Okay, what I don't want to do is diddle in this. I'm just not interested in diddling in that, which is what yesterday was, right? And a bit like last week, I think it was last week, into the area where we're at now, I'm not really interested in doing much in here, right? It's just messy, right? But if we'd gapped up over that and held the top of the range and created a new range for a drive up, sure. When we did this move, I'm willing to sell it. But I don't care about this. I really don't. That's just, I don't think there's edge in there. I don't think there's edge in there. When you show random stocks, you are just in a position. Can't see what interval you show. 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 week. Mate, I don't know. Depends what I'm looking at on that stock. Sorry, Peter. I don't know which specific stock you're referring to and what I was looking at. I have no idea. I look at in that given moment. I don't have a memory that can remember all that. I'm sorry. Some set previous day high at 6 o'clock. Who would set a previous day high at 6 o'clock? Why would you set a previous day high at 6 o'clock? That would be a new session. That wouldn't be previous day high. That would literally be a new set. It wouldn't matter what you're looking at. That ain't never a previous day high. I don't know who's taught you that. That sounds like a whole lot of bullshit to me. Who would set it at 6 o'clock? Sorry, mate. I'm going to have to correct you here before you do something wrong. 6 o'clock. You think previous day high is this? That's the open, mate. That's the open. That's the new day open. All right. You could argue with me previous day high set at 4 o'clock, right? Or even 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock for me, or whatever we did within that session. But 6 o'clock ain't never been 6 o'clock, mate. No one's ever set it at 6 o'clock. We only look at sessions in New York time zone. Everyone knows that. If you're going to say, oh, well, I'm looking in what I do in Hawaii, then you're just being silly. When we're judging the market, we're looking at New York Stock Exchange sessions. This may go for the low. Well, you're into the New York Open, like we said. You might get a flush down here because semis are into the 120. So this Tyson trade has paid you handsomely. You should be down to 10 to 20%. Here. I don't think you're going to come down here. I can happily be wrong. 450, I would say, would be the extreme right now. If you get under 450, then I think this thing's in big problems. The semis are now under that 120. They are under that 120. I get you. It's more of the open. Mate, you're like, my brain's fried. Yes, it's the open, not the high of the previous day. Those are, you understand how different those two things are, right? I'm doing this for your own help. You understand if this is a daily candle, do you understand the difference of this to this, right? That's the previous day high, right? Let's say we opened here. That's your open, low, close, high. Open, low, close, high. Those are very different things, and you better make sure you understand the difference. Those are like the fucking most basic things ever. If you don't understand those, you are going to get really hurt, because those are very, very, very important things to understand on all candles. They are very different. Your open and your high is very, very, very different. Nice one, Nathan. Alex, why don't you trade the Tyson trade? I do trade the Dyson trade, but I am done for the day, my friend. I'm finished. All right, I'm finished. Right, you got to remember, I had 4 attempts at this move here. All right, that's me done, finished, finito. Right, I don't need to keep trading. We had some nice winners here. Right, we were, I think it was like here. We were long. We were long. There might have been another one. I can't remember now. And then we had 4 attempts here. I've only got so much mental capital in my head to trade. All right, so I ignored that. I'm done. I'm finished. Done for the day, mate. Only 4 trade per day rule. It's not a 4 trade per day rule. I had 4 attempts at the same trade, right? And I came out of it scratch, right? So that last one, I moved my stop up high enough to pay for those 3 attempts, which were break even, minus 5 points, minus 10 points, right? Finished. I've only got so much mental capital. Alex, after joining you, so my losses are almost nothing. That's great. Make sure you don't get complacent about that, though. It's very easy to do. We start getting a little bit loose sometimes, but it's good. If what you mean is I'm starting to manage risk better, that's fantastic. What settings do I have for this delta? 3 rows per bin, max delta 10, max profile rows 50. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have available at the moment. Or do you mean the code for it? I can share privately, Tyson. I can share some stuff with you if you need it. It will be available soon anyway. What's my order bubble indicator? This one, or this one. This is Spectra Pro for NinjaTrader from Flowzone. You can get this on the website. This is not available yet, right? This and the Delta is not available yet. This is the first day we're testing it. Same with this at the bottom, CBD Pro. It's not available yet. We're testing it at the moment. Yeah, Pelosi said about Bloom like 2 days ago. I think Trump also is in it. They just had their I think it's their first. Their P ratio is still like pretty big though, and I think they've only just gone positive. I think they're still trading at like a 50 PE ratio, or maybe even more. Kind of wild. Might be even more actually. Might be a lot more. I'm trying to remember. I looked at it last week and I thought, not sure about that. All right, here's your battle around that New York Open. All right, so you can see there's a buyer who stepped in here. It's actually a seller who's caught right now at 20s. So like I said, this might be all you get. Now, if they reclaim VWAP, then they're going to get a push right to this LVN, 64s, and then back to point of control, which is why I was saying you need to be out like 70, 80, 90% of your position down here. And guess what? Semis are bidding on again. What's the number that we've said all day? Their key number. It's 120s, right? This thing is dictating this market right now. There it goes. 120s and bid. And you got 9 minutes left to lunch. J Mark. Tell me you like weed without telling me you like weed, my friend. 420. Just 300 points higher, eh? If semis were trading 420 right now, this market would be at 35,000. All right, here we go, back towards the POC. So they held the New York Open. They're coming through the LVN. They're going to come back to the point of control. And if they rebid over that point of control, 680 is still valid. But right now, you're just probably going to ping pong for a little bit while they make a mind up here of what they want to do. And semis just bid 120, and they're going straight back to that view up. You're in a buy from 520, nice, off the New York Open. It's great. Like if I wasn't done, it's something I would consider. If I'd missed, right? If I hadn't traded this, I'd be looking for this down here. And if we look down there, what did we have? We had sellers caught into it, right? They got very aggressive, right, into the key level. Look at these sellers underneath, and they got absorbed, and we come straight back up, and we rebalance this to point of control. We got an unfinished auction at 83, and if they bid back over 600, we still have that move to 680, which is viable. And we've just repriced that unfinished auction, right? So it could just be a nice reset here, and this afternoon it might be that they're still going to look for this move. This has still been my bias, but we have to just be careful, knowing that, hey, no one's willing to participate in this market up here at the moment. If we can't get over this and do this, then this is viable, all right, in here. That's your rotation. Okay, how are we doing on the likes here? And you guys make your money and then you leave. You don't hit the like when you join. You make all your money with me and then you just bugger off. And then you're probably going, oh, what's PW doing? What's Ninja Trader doing? What's this guy doing? What's an unfinished auction? It's where effectively where we have no form of tail at all, right? So a good auction would be down here where we have aggressive sellers being absorbed by passive buyers, all right? And that's the normal auction. And that's what you would get at the bottom of every candle, some formation of that on every candle, right? And the opposite of that would be at the high, like this spike high, would be aggressive buyers being absorbed by passive sellers, all right? So we leave a wick high. When we have basically equal weighted buyers and sellers, all right, and we leave an unfinished auction. I can't remember where was that last one. It's come off the print now. I think it might have been here. I can't remember where it was. I'd have to find it. It's basically where we don't have any form of excess at all, all right? So you don't have like an aggressive buyer imbalanced with a passive seller. You don't have an aggressive seller like absorbed by a passive buyer at all. You have the bid and the ask basically stuck equal at the top of a price, and that's normally wants to be repriced by the market. Now you're running out of time here, but what I'm going to leave you into lunch so that you know I would be looking to see, is this market willing to do this still? All right. Is it willing to do this? If we trade back under this, this is the same level we talked about all day, right? It's there or thereabouts. It's these buyers here who got a little stuck. Do you remember this is the level? All right, above that, we can try and look for that. It's just the positioning long is way better down here. Those of you who just dipped that, if you hold that, you look very good. If you start losing this node, then, you know, this dance is going to start happening in here. I think that H1 looks very, very, very bullish now. Look, we're holding all the flow zones on the H1. Like, this is like, I can't remember who keeps trying to tell me that this is bearish. I can't see what out of this is bearish. Look at even this H1 here. Look at these flow zones. Everything's being supported, breaking out, over gap, holding RBS, dips just held. This is absolute, for me, this is clear target. It is a clear target. And over that, this is the target, 800. It's just all about these semiconductors. This has been the market this year. Can they find the bid? The spread on NQ seems large. Mate, are you actually serious? A large spread, 1 to 2 ticks. You think that's a large spread? No, mate. I don't know what you are talking about. How is 1 to 2 ticks a large spread? That ain't a that. I don't know what you want, but you can't get a smaller spread than 1 tick. It's literally impossible. They're still on, even on MQ, they're 1 to 2 ticks. This thing's gonna fucking go, mate. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna go and have a nap. I'm gonna wake up, and this thing's gonna be at 800. I have a dumb question. I've been listening for a while, and I've still never been able to figure out what unit a lot is when you refer to 300 lots. Well, that would be 300 units, 300 contracts. If I say lot size, it would be single contract, right? Because we're trading the NQ. So it'd be 300 orders. Why did it just blow through the LVN? Because no one wanted to do price there. No sellers wanted to sell there anymore. We've finished the mean reversion, right? The IB trade. They could have sold here. They didn't, right? There were no sellers willing to sell here. They've all exited. There's a shift now, and they are trying to look for that again. That's what they're trying to do. They've been trying to look for this all day. I'm telling you. It's just whether they've got it or not. It is all about this guy. It's been all about this guy for as long as I can remember. 120 holds, back to view up again, right? If they lift this, right? They've just done this move here. If they lift this and do this, and this thing gets going, NQ lifts. Otherwise, they can just keep ping-ponging. You are almost into lunch. Are we anywhere near on the likes? Oh, a cracking headache coming. 1,000 likes. Well, all we can do is an Apex giveaway today. That's all we've got today, unfortunately. So you guys can't get me enough likes. Tell me that. You teaching? All right. All right, guys. Let's do this Apex giveaway. Type FZT in chat. Just type it once. That's your best code for all your prop firms, other than Take Profit Trader. Once we get through this giveaway, I am actually going to ask you guys a question, which we'll do a little, I'm interested in, because there is a prop firm that keeps reaching out, wanting to work with me. They work with all the right people in terms of Ninja Trader and stuff like that. But I've read some reviews and I'm very unsure about it, and I don't want to partner with someone. And I'm reading mixed reviews, but I don't know if they're fake or real. So I'm going to ask you about it once we get through this giveaway. going through my emails. I'll get back to all of you that have emailed. I promise I'll get back to you as soon as we're done here. Christian and everyone else. I've just seen them come in. There you go. Basing over. You are basing over. They're going to have a go at it. They're going to have a go at it over lunch. It's just so frustrating, isn't it, market? When you know what it wants to do and it just won't do it when you want it to do it. Alex, talked to you about the TPT thing yesterday. I reached out to RTrader Pro, like you said, and they told me Quant Tower is not a rhythmic software and they have limited ability to troubleshoot. I'm sorry, mate. I mean, that ain't your fault. That is a fucking cop-out from Rhythmic on you guys, on you, mate. I'm really sorry to hear that they've said that. That's really poor from Rhythmic. You could try reaching out to Quant Tower, but they're going to tell you it's Rhythmic's issue, and they would be right in that. Yeah, I know, mate. I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm really, really sorry to hear that. It is definitely it's a Rhythmic to Quant Tower issue. It's not a TPT issue. And that's not me defending TPT. Like I said, I've been through these things before. The issue is in the data and the software you use, not in the platform that you buy that from, right? I'm really sorry that they've been arseholes, because that is an arsehole response, and I'm really sorry. I wish I could do something there. Really sorry to hear that, mate. All right, guess where we're trying to go? All right, so there's you're right, Jess? Yeah. All right, so there's the pullback in, there's the New York Open, there's the edge, there's the holdover point of control. This is where they're trying to go. Same trade I've had a go at all day. I'm now out of bullets, but that's what it's going to try and do. All right, let's pick a winner here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reese Reasons. Reese Reasons. Are you here, Reese Reasons? There's IB High. Oh, mate. This is like, oh, here goes semis. This is so annoying. So annoying. Alex, I found you randomly here on YouTube, and I've seriously become so much better and able to recognize the trade. Pre-game plan before the session. I had 6 green days with 4 figures profit. Thank you. Nice work, mate. Awesome work. Awesome work. All right, Reese Reasons. Congratulations, my friend. All right, you know the score. Email me info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube, please, and I'll sort you out with a free Apex account. And do you know what we haven't done for a while, and I'll do one, is the introduction to trading course. It's very simple. It's only a 2-hour course. You don't get Discord or anything like that, but for people who've never traded before, it's a good place to start. If you just type course once in chat, we'll give one of those away. Does a course ever go on sale? Very rarely. Very, very, very rarely. It's honestly, there's a lot in there for the price. Just sucks up. I'm stuck in the middle. I've spent over 20k with TPT, and that's how I get treated. Yeah, mate. I agree with you. I sympathize with you. I agree with you. I hear everything you're saying. It's one of the worst things about being a retail trader, mate. It isn't just in this part of the game. And I'm going to give you an example now. I used to trade small caps. One of the brokers when I trade small caps was Trade Zero. Not only did I pay an absolute fortune with Trade Zero for astronomical borrow fees when you compared it to IB and guys like this, it was just ridiculous. The amount of times that server would go offline and I would be in a trade, and once that went offline, and I'm sometimes talking about 5-6 hours offline when I've got $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 position short side, and I can't cover and I can't manage, and it comes back online and you're down biggity big, or maybe you were up big and you're down and you come back to break even, or you haven't been able to get your profits out. And there was gall that they would do for anyone. It's unfortunately, it's part of being a retail trader, mate. Unfortunately, when we do this, it is what we are exposing ourselves to. It's very rare in compared to other industries in that we are putting ourselves against the elements, but it is how it is, unfortunately, mate. No, I'm not going to do Klarna separate payments for the courses, because the courses are not that expensive. They're really not. Occasionally I'll help people out and put some form of plan in, but they're not that expensive. All right, let's pick this one at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. F Defined has won the Introduction to Trading course. Are you here, F Defined? Nice, congrats, mate. All right, it's just a very simple 2-hour course. You can have it for yourself, or you can always give it to a friend. All right. Again, same thing. info@flowzonetrader.com. Screenshot of you logged onto YouTube. All right, folks. This is what I'd be watching this afternoon to have you prepared. All right. I'd be looking to see the same as earlier. This is not the ideal level, unfortunately, but to see if they are willing to hold a bid above this, right, for this move. If they're not able to do that, you're going to keep rotating this. This is why it's very hard to keep looking for more upside here when the best buying opportunity was down here. This is where we wanted the bear trap today. It came in. All right, it's just whether they can do this move later. If they can't, then they're going to build out more liquidity. As always, you need to be zoomed out. The problem that we have at the moment, the biggest problem we have at the moment, is this guy right here. All right, that's the node. 500 to 680. That's the node. That's why it's sticky up here. All right, because up here is the most volume we've traded the whole year. Right, so it's tough. It's why we wanted to be a cheap long where possible. We did the best we could do today. But if you guys are going to continue to trade, that's what I'd be looking for. All right, and if you're going to look for failures, you're going to really need it under this. And you want to be very careful about this guy now. All right, because that can act as support. So I would limit, honestly, I'd limit your shots left at this. This can definitely act as support, and they can use it as a trap. They can do a move like this, and the problem is if you're going to buy that, you need to respect this, and if they base back over, they can have another go at it. If they fail this, then they can wash back out. We're starting to lose edge. We've got diminishing edge in this market. We're getting pinned. Look, they can't find acceptance up here. They can't find acceptance under here. This is actually pretty tight. You're talking about 100 points here after a gap and go. All right, here's your PDC. Gap, consolidation, preparing for the next move, I think. So limit your trades, be smart with your stops, and be careful with your sizing. And just remember, they are at Jackson Hole. We don't expect any major comments until tomorrow, but things can change very, very quickly. All right, guys, and that's me done. We will close out tomorrow strong. Let's hope we have a really good Friday. NVIDIA new high of day here. Trade safe in the afternoon. Oh, yeah, I did have a question about the prop firm. I did. All right. Have any of you, I'm going to have to check, make sure I get their name right. They're not going to like this because I do my research. Have any of you traded with E8 markets? Okay. Because they keep wanting to try and do a deal with this community, and I have my concerns about some of the reviews online. They are well known. They're not a small firm. Good in CFDs. No, they do. They have a futures market as well. Darkside, I'm going to say something, mate. There's thousands of other people here. It's not just about you, all right? Starting to overstretch. Warned you on email as well. You're starting to overstretch, bud. Yeah, sounds like none of you have traded with them. I don't think they're based outside the US. I think they are a US based firm. What's their name? E8. So E8 Markets. They're American. They'd be under the same legislation. They work with all the right people. They work with Tradeify. They work with NinjaTrader. They've been around for like 5 or 6 years. They've launched their futures market a while ago. They have some pretty like interesting accounts, like different kind of accounts. Juice, mate. Listen, hang on. Everyone just stop. I'm just going to read your message. So I'm shit out of luck. I messed up. You defended TPT and told me to get in touch, a hold of Rhythmic. And now it's just sorry you're getting screwed by them. I spent over 20K with TPT. Here's some half truths for you. You spent 20K with TPT. That's you. That ain't my problem or anyone else's problem. All right. It ain't their problem either that you've spent that money with them. Your issue is with Rhythmic. All right. And whatever software that you're using. It's not with me. It's not with TPT. The amount of money you spend is on you. That's no one else's business. No one else is asking you to spend that money. That is on you. All right. Take your ego out of it. Stop blaming everyone else. I can't do F all about it, mate. Because I didn't spend 20K. I don't have an issue with Rhythmic. I haven't been slipped on it. I don't use what you use. It's on you. It's your decisions. Who you trade with, how much money you spend, and how you execute stuff is on you. It ain't on anyone else. It's a big boy game, this. All right? It's like being an adult. You buy a house for $1 million, you get fucked, the market goes down, now it's only worth 800 grand. You can piss and moan all you want, but ultimately it's on you. So pull your big boy pants up, buddy, because if you can't get a deal done with Rhythmic, that's on you. It ain't on anyone else, bud. All right? Big boy. It's big boy stuff. It's going to spell it out for you. Ain't no one else's problem. It's your problem, unfortunately. I feel sorry for you, but if you're going to be in here trying to turn it on like it's anyone else's fault, that's on you, and you can just get out. You got to grow up real quick, because this market ain't here to save you. You are, though, mate. You're in here like, oh, and you said this yesterday and today. Like, you are. You got to stop. I'm disputing your claims of them being great. Again, it's not their fault, is it? You trade with Rhythmic. You made that decision to trade with Rhythmic. You need to take it up with Rhythmic. Do you not understand, right? If you go to a broker and you buy a house and the housing market goes down, that's not the broker's fault. It's the market. So you've bought From TPT, you could have bought from anywhere you wanted. They get data. You chose Rhythmic. Your issue is with Rhythmic data. It ain't on the person that sold you the data. It's on the data provider. It's like you can't get that into your head. Oh, mate. It's not that it's your fault, but it's your choice, because you keep going on about, oh, I spent 20K. The 20K's got nothing to do with it. You're salty that you've spent 20K. That's all it is. You're that's got nothing to do with this decision, has it? What you've spent has nothing to do with it. Nothing. Zero. Literally zero. It's got nothing to do with it. Mate, you're still then take it up with them. Because why do they need to reimburse you on something that's not their problem? It's crazy, mate. It's crazy. Bored now, yeah. I feel the same, but some people need to be told properly. If you can't learn from it, you can't learn from it. It's on you, mate. Like, it's for you to take up with them. I've showed sympathy. I've tried to help you, but you're on and on and on and on and on, and it ain't my job or anyone else's. All right, I've tried to help you, but it's part of the risk of doing it as a job. Like I've just explained to you, I had the same thing with real fucking money with Trade Zero. All right, it happens. It is what it is. Accept it. Don't accept it. At this point, there's not a lot I can do to help you. It's not. I'm done. But like sometimes you've got to tell people real hard lessons. People don't want to learn the hard lessons. Like it's so easy to like flip and blame and look everywhere else, but at some point, like you've got to have a look at what you're saying. No one's asking you to spend the money. People don't like it. This is life. This is life. Things go wrong. It's true. People don't like it. They don't like being told hard truths. Yeah, there you go. There's a big boy pants. Like you can sue them, right? If the date is not available and you lost, take up with a solicitor. There you go. Go and sue Rhythmic, right? That would be putting big boy pants on. If you really want to take it further. Tell you what, you're not getting back 20 grand spent because that's got absolutely nothing to do with it. And that's how I know you're emotionally biased because you've spent too much money. That's all it is. It's got nothing to do with what's happened. You can see. Yeah, 20K on props. It's wild. It is wild. Coming back to E8, it's too expensive. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what it looks like. Let's have a look together, stream, and see if it's something we want to even consider. I think the advantage of this place is the statics. So signature account, I'm going to focus on 50K. That's what most people do. End of day, 80%, 1 day. Max draw. That's not great. Okay, let's try zero max. End of day consistency, 40% you pass in 3 days. Payout 80%, no activation fee. Max draw, 1.5 end of day. Okay, so that's same day payouts. 214, quite pricey. What's the max though? I'll have a look in a minute on the payout on that, on the max. Starter, 50K, 3 day pass, max draw. Is that the same as this then? Caps and buffers. Yeah. I don't think it's that great. I'm kind of with you guys. I think it's a pass. Am I sure they work with NinjaTrader? Yeah, I'm 100% positive. I emailed them about it. 100% positive. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a pass. That's why I wanted to bring it. I think it is a pass. It's too expensive. If they give a free account, because we don't want to trade with people who are not offering the best product available, right? So everyone we trade with at the moment offers a very good product. I've never heard of 10-4. No, sorry, Joe. Never heard of it. Exactly. It's got to be competitive. Otherwise, you're wasting money, spending money where it shouldn't go. All right, folks. That's me done. You know what I'd be looking for this afternoon? I would absolutely limit your trading here. I would set price alerts for 120 on semiconductors and 123 on semiconductors. Those are your over-unders. Over 123, market can really get going. Underneath 120, market's probably going to be in trouble. And you need to watch the rotations here, which consistently seem to be taking place, right? We're still bidding mag at the moment and software, but we're starting to sell semis back into this 120 range. So you've got to be really, really aware of that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's keep chat positive tomorrow. Let's try not to blame people for other stuff. All right. Try and hold on to your own issues yourself. I'm here to help, but I'm certainly not taking responsibility for other people's issues. That's just bullshit. Peace and love, everyone. Take care. I'll see you in the morning. Everyone, take care.